The Rap Roundtable.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The summer of the Rap Roundtable. We're not even making y'all wait months anymore. We're just hitting y'all episode after episode after episode. It sounds like we bragging, but again, the numbers are up, up, up. Keep supporting, keep telling your friends to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. Applaud us and applaud you for fucking with us. Y'all know the lineup. To my left, Sincere the Rap Snob.
What up, what up?
To his left, Deanie the Balance. To his left, Mace back once again to cook up with us.
Back again.
You know the vibes.
We are tonight's entertainment.
You can find the Rap Roundtable on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're social. The Rap Roundtable is there. Now let's get right into it. The culture's active, fellas.
Active. Sure is, man.
Oh.
It sure is.
Sin jumped right in.
Listen, nah, I feel like there's something culminating. Before the end of the year, like, this is gonna be a year for the books, I feel like.
It feels like all of the heavyweights sat back, pandemic hit, and they had a plan for 2021.
They had to.
And now we're seeing it's like New York City traffic. Everyone is jostling for position.
Yep.
Shots are firing. Music is coming out. We having a tour for a listening session. First time ever in history.
There you go.
And on top of that, Deanie has the most ice I've ever seen in a red cup, an ice cup mountain. What kind of beverage are you making, fam?
This is the, come on, I hope it don't sink the Titanic, though.
About to sink you, nigga.
Only on the Rap Roundtable.
Only on the Rap Roundtable.
Stay icy.
We are tonight's
I had to
entertainment.
talk about that ice, bro. She was about to spill your drink.
Let me live.
You right. Kanye, Soldier
Major.
Field. Damn near a whole new album for the third time we've done this. We had some people taken out, some people put in. Right now, Kanye he's setting the trend. He's changing the argument. And I'm impressed. But we got to talk to Sincere the Rap Snob. This is your guy,
Sure,
the
dude.
prodigal son, Yeezy.
Even though
Talk
you
to
gave
us.
Listen, we was talking last night in the group chat, right? So
First of all, shout out to you for putting me on, because I wasn't even paying attention. I was
You
in the whole
weren't.
other world.
I didn't know either.
no,
Appreciate you.
if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I was gonna skip it.
Okay.
And then I don't know what it was. Some told me I was like, all right, I'm not doing nothing, and I'm up. I'm not sleepy. Let me tune in. Let me see what's going on. Matter of fact, my phone reminded me.
Alerted you, okay.
Yeah, it sent me an alert, right? A notification. And I was like, all right, let me just tap this and see what's going on, right? And so I was captivated. Now I've seen a couple of these, listening sessions slash demo world tour or whatever. And to be honest, I wasn't totally impressed with what I was hearing, but last night's show, it was a different moment. It was a whole different vibe. It was you could hear, and this is the interesting part, is like when he started this, like people thought, oh, okay, like his album is almost done and he's gonna play what's almost complete, maybe 80-85% complete for the audience, and then it sounded like it was like 25-30% complete, right? And that's why I was just like, all right, I'm not really here for this. But you're actually seeing the process and the album being built over time to the point where, like, I was listening last night and I was like, oh, okay, this is the Kanye that I remember. And I have to say right here, I don't say this often, right, because it doesn't happen often.
Talk your shit, son.
But I was wrong.
Oh, what?
I was completely wrong. From like, I don't know, maybe like a year ago when we were talking
crazy,
about,
bro.
yeah.
And I was like, I think Kanye got another one.
Yeah,
in him.
and
He
I was like, nah, he's done. He's done. You said it, and you said it.
Score one for Didi.
And
in
I
his
was,
ice.
and I was like, nah, I think it's a wrap for Kanye, man. I don't think he has it in him. He's married to Kim. He's a Kardashian now, living in the hills in California. Like I just thought the soul and the passion was gone. But leave it to a breakup to come along and like put that fire in his ass again, because what I heard last night at that listening session, that was some epic shit, yo.
Absolutely.
And he was, and like you were saying, like he was taking vibes from different eras of his music. It was crazy. Shout outs to Kanye. I still don't fuck with the MAGA shit, but like the music is the music, and I can't front on it.
That's a fact. Dini, talk to me, fam.
As again, I was correct. I said Sin will be back.
Son.
I said this.
You did say that.
I said it with vigor because, with the exception of R. Kelly,
Oh boy.
the music will always get the people back.
Okay, because I was about to find the drop for you. So he mentioned it.
The same way I was on my shit with Lauryn Hill and the music.
Whoa.
no,
You're
no.
not taking credit for her fire.
No,
burst,
I'm not
bro.
taking
What
credit
are
for
you
the fire.
writing
I'm not taking credit for
What
the
are you
fire.
writing about, fam?
Yo,
The fuck are you talking about?
Podcast has a whoa me moment. I'm not taking credit for it. What I'm saying is, my interest is piqued. The same way I felt like Kanye would pique your interest
Yes.
if the music was good enough. Now
Yes.
I've only seen prior to the one yesterday, one
Right.
of those shows.
Right.
I didn't really care. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The reason I really tuned in yesterday is because you said Lil Baby had a great verse.
I said the Lil Baby song was fire. That's what I said.
But you said,
But Lil Baby did his thing. Yeah, for sure.
Here go Hate trying to corner him. You said something good about Little Baby.
so I felt this was major. So I tapped in, bro. I was blown away. This, like, we were texting while watching it, bro.
That was fire.
It was exceptional. It was the first time in a long time I've seen Kanye and not felt like, what are we doing here?
Right.
It was the first time in a long time I didn't feel like this was a gimmick.
Right.
That this was we were being set up. For
I mean,
some
it's
BS.
still a gimmick, but
the
it's kind of
craftsmanship
right
is
right.
there.
Yeah.
And this gave
It gotta be a gimmick with the fire.
There was
quality.
first album vibes. There was graduation vibes on there. There was dark twisted fantasy vibes in the show. It was just it's like he sat down in the room with all his albums and try to recapture the feeling from all the albums. I was blown away.
Mace, talk to me, fam.
Now let's talk about it. First off, nobody mentioned the fact that we're talking about Ye now. This is not Kanye West.
I'm sorry.
It's a whole new
Let's
artist.
stand corrected.
So let's talk about Ye for a second. You know what?
Let us pray.
Secretly at home, as a faithful watcher of the Rap Roundtable, of course,
Sure.
I was on Sin's side. I didn't think that Kanye had anything left in him. I thought he was done. I was ready to write him off. I didn't think anything was happening. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised because the type of detail and the type of passion Kanye is showing, it's that prime level around, you're talking graduation to Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, where he gives you the experience. You know what I mean? The music is on point, of course, as it usually is. Even his bad albums are better than, other people's good efforts. But I could appreciate that Kanye cares again. You know what I mean? That he really, I find myself dying for this Donda album. I don't want to say, sorry, folks, but I'm really looking forward, to what he's doing. A couple of the people that he subbed out, I know Jar was probably upset about one. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What happened?
I got something to
Let
say.
us
I'm
know.
letting my
Yeah,
team
a
cook.
couple of the subs that he made on the songs, as well as the appearances, were a little controversial.
Okay.
So I don't quite know where he's going there, but I believe in Kanye. He maybe he knows something that I don't.
I'm looking at this project, and I said it in the group chat. I'm feeling Graduation, Yeezus, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Those vibes are in this project. Like specifically, like when he started talking about stadium music, like the fullness, the surround sound vibe of Kanye's music, the darkness. He's making songs that you might hear on a movie trailer someplace. You're hearing songs that are gonna be played in the NBA arena, and I'm very impressed. I like what I'm hearing. And you know what? I'm not gonna say I'm surprised because I believed in Kanye. I felt like we got little nuggets of it on Jesus is King, where he had a little bit of his mojo. Like we could hear, he was lost in the sauce, but we could still hear him
A few
little
records.
bit.
Right.
And to Sin's point, all it took was a breakup for him to rekindle his energy. Because Kanye naturally is a contrarian. So if he's in his feelings, instead of leaning into his feelings and being emotional, he's gonna go the other way. Right. So he becomes asshole Kanye, contrarian Kanye. I'm gonna wear a mask and a bubble coat in the middle of summer Kanye. If you zig, I zag Kanye. And we're getting this, you thought you was gonna get a gospel album? Wrong. I'm giving you a Kanye album where I talk about God. You didn't see that coming, did you?
Didn't.
Kanye is a contrarian.
And then the nerve to give us a whole guest verse
Didn't take it off.
and then take it off for the baby.
That's that. If there's nothing more Kanye than that, you got to find something for
And
him.
people are gonna hate
That was
that.
ridiculous.
The guy who's
But that's
canceled,
Kanye. That's always been
There
Kanye.
you go. The guy who's canceled, and you take off the person we wanted you to hear rap together. Nobody asked for the baby, but then the baby comes and he delivers. And that's the thing that I wanted to point out because I missed part of it. But from what I heard, the thing that I've always loved about Kanye projects, especially post Late Reg, when he started getting guest appearances, he forced those acts to raise their game. Because Graduation was the first, I would say, appearance of curator Kanye before he started to raise his game more and more and more. And those guest appearances, you were hearing some of your best verses from these acts on his album. Artists that I wouldn't listen to. I'm like, oh, he came off on that. Fabio got his shit off. Fabio Foreign sounded like he belonged there. That's a big deal. The Baby. For Sin to say Lil Baby got his shit off. He's got Kanye, and if you always hear something, it's artists saying Kanye made me rap my verse over. He didn't like what it sounded like. So Kanye is gonna push you to get what he hears in his mind. He's gonna force you to deliver it in real life. And Kanye, if this is what we're gonna get, I'm excited. I'm not gonna say I'm expecting a classic, but you could tell there's attention to detail being paid. And quite frankly, there was subs. The Locks got taken off. Hove got taken off. We don't know what to expect on the last project. Maybe that was, there you go. Maybe that was to get us talking, get the socials talking about it.
Yeah, Kiss got taken off of a record.
Allegedly, Kim Kardashian showed up back there. We never saw her face. We don't know that's Kim K. Right. It could just be a Kim K stand-in.
A lot of chicks look like that too.
We don't know that Kanye lit himself on fire. It could have been a stuntman. You know what I'm saying? But the idea was he's generated $12 million in revenue off of a listening tour in football stadiums
for songs that are not like songs that you already know.
Right.
And look, because I already hear the haters out there.
That's a big deal.
I already hear, but who cares about all the antics? Who cares about who cares about this and that? This is something that's just, it hasn't been done before. And even with the money aside, like the $12 million in revenue that it's generated. If you're like, if you hate capitalism, I get it. But the fact that he is literally touring, this is what, his fourth show?
Yep.
Third show, right? 3 shows of basically just him constructing the album and having people hear it as it goes along. If you don't care about the money aspect of it, fine. But the creativity behind this, it's unprecedented, right? Nobody's ever thought to say, hey, you know what? As I'm building the album, I'm gonna go and tour all the demo stems. You know what I mean?
You know what it is, Sin?
Right.
It's like, instead of, in this streaming era, the guys make the albums, about a week out, they give you a date, then they just drop it on the DSPs.
Right.
Kanye's almost going the old route where there was a build-up, a promo run in the lead-up to an album that might last about a month and a half to 2 months before you get the project. He's showing you that there's still means and old schoolish ways to raise attention to give it a release as opposed to just, here, my fans are gonna download it anyway.
Right.
But we gotta be a little negative. Mason, coming to you. Kanye allegedly drops Drake's address on socials. Drake drops a somewhat cheesy video giggling in a vehicle somewhere that became a meme with a response. What do we think about these antics involving Drake and Kanye?
Drake and Kanye, the great cold war of Drake and Kanye.
Drake?
I found myself a couple times this week just trying to figure out what's going on between these two.
Text message, group chat, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if is this a rollout between the two? Are there real issues between the two? Is Drake gonna drop this record that is gonna destroy Kanye's life? I find myself, and even right before we started airing, I was checking the news to see if there was something else going on, because it seems like every day there's something going on with these two. But at the end of the day, I think they're just jostling for position.
Okay.
I think, the throne is for the taking. Hove is, these are for the people that believe that Hove has the throne. But, Hove is backed off. Nas is going on his best rapper alive of 2021 run. Shouts to him.
Can't argue that right now.
Facts.
But as far as the contemporary throne, who does everybody want to dress like? Who does everybody want to be on their record? Seems like Kanye, where we thought that Drake had taken over, Kanye is like, wait a second, I'm still here. I'm not out of here yet. And it seems like he's trying to make things tough for Drake. He seems like he's the one poking the bear. But right now, I'm not sure. It seems like Drake may want to drop his album, out of nowhere, and Kanye's just waiting on him to come out with his record. You know what I mean? I think that now that Drake is kind of deciding when it may drop, that Kanye is just gonna drop. We're gonna start hearing music. We're gonna start hearing things.
It was announced. He announced it.
Announced, right?
Yeah,
Third, right?
On
Right. September 3rd. So
September 3rd,
obviously
right.
he's feeling like he's starting to feel that heat. Deanie, like you like the mixy shit. So how you feel about the group chats and the address and the sub messages? Rick Ross saying that Drake got something, he's ready. What you think about that, Deanie? The balance? Give us a balanced response here.
I think you know what it is. I think this is Kanye versus 50 Part 2. This is
All promo, you saying, Deanie?
gotta be, bro. Like no matter where. First of all, Drake's address. Drake probably got like 50 houses. Armed shooters. Anyone goes to the house will be laid down.
And I heard that address was already public anyway.
Come on.
Yeah, it was.
It's a basketball court in the house, bro. Like stop it. When you look at what's going on, the only thing I'm really shocked about is the quietness of Drake. That's what makes me think Drake must be sitting on a Uzi, bro. It's what else? I just can't see Drake just punking out. I just don't see it in that way. Even though Drake is kind of punky.
Here
Until
goes.
Pusha T comes back out.
Oh, Sin, go ahead, Sin, get your shit off.
Kanye?
No, I agree with Deanie in the sense that it's probably all promo. He took the words right out of my mouth. Talking about what we saw in 2007 between 50 and Kanye, where it was on like 106 in Park and like doing this whole thing where like it seemed like they was really against each other, but like in reality they were both benefiting from all the chatter, and that's probably what's going on right now. So what Deanie's saying is true, because these are two, like, in terms of rollout, these are two completely polar opposite rollouts.
Precisely.
You know what I mean? Kanye's had 3 fucking shows, and Drake, you barely have heard a thing from him. I don't know. We all know I'm not really a Drake fan, so I'm not really. That feeling of like, Drake is sitting on a bomb. I don't feel that. I don't feel that the way that I feel that way about Kendrick being gone for a while, and I'm like, oh no, Kendrick's gonna unleash a fucking monster. I don't feel that way about Drake, so I don't know.
To say this about Drake, he's with the exception of maybe Hove, might be like the most calculated kind of like.
Can I
true.
get in?
Hold on. But I should.
Just pushing the point guard out the way. I had a retort for you.
I understand. But I should be more accurate with my statement. I don't feel that way about an album that's called Certified Lover Boy.
All right, so this is what I wanted to say. I'm gonna disqualify you when it comes to Drake, and anything you say about 75% of it, you're not being fair when it comes. You don't fuck with Drake. You don't.
You don't fuck with Drake either.
Yeah, but I pay homage.
When the records are mixy, they mixy.
You're not gonna see me shimmy into Drake in my car unless it's a banging single. But I always say when it comes to rapping, if he decides to diss Kanye, he got some shit. He will smoke his boots.
Yeah, but the album's called Certified Lover Boy. Like, don't you think it's gonna be like mostly
right. Only guarantees.
He has a heart that looks like a ball sack on his head. Like,
damn it, man.
Wow.
It doesn't? I'm wrong?
That's crazy,
You're not gonna
bro.
judge his clothes.
After the COVID messed up his hairline. That's
Wow, bro.
But you don't care about
That's
people's
crazy, bro.
fashion
Word.
I'm
This
not-
last episode, but now we judging parts of niggas' heads.
I'm telling you what it looks like.
Wow,
It looks like
bro.
a ball sack.
That's crazy, bro.
Really, Sin?
La Maquina
All
should look
I-
like a skirt.
Word. Now shout out to Demi for calling you out too about making excuses for niggas. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, if Drake decides to drop a Lucy and just give Kanye that work,
Yeah, that's true.
my money's on Drake. I told you a lot of times
Pack was hard.
I'm picking Drake in a lot of situations if we just talking about barring somebody up because he's done it. Outside of Pusha T, he couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else got that work from
And
Drake.
make a song out of it.
Yeah. So Kanye might want to tread lightly, but then again, but I think that's the setup. That's the booby trap. The minute Drake decides to rap to Kanye, Pusha T he's just gonna resurface like Batman in Gotham. He's just gonna show behind Aubrey and bar him up again because he owes us a surgical summer, but Aubrey tapped out. So we gonna see.
Because that's the thing. Pusha's like the bishop on the chessboard.
Oh, let's talk about
You know
it.
what I mean?
Man. That's why you always have to tread lightly around Kanye, because who wants smoke? Like I had someone on the internet saying that like Drake is a boogeyman of the rap game. To me, it's Pusha T. You don't want that problem.
Nobody.
You don't want it. Because he doesn't play fair. He's made it clear. Everything is on the table.
Everything.
But another person who doesn't play fair and has finally decided to show himself after what, 4 years? Is it 3 to 4 years?
4 years, 4 plus.
1 minute.
4 plus.
Kendrick Lamar alongside
Yes.
Baby Keem.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
Dini's shaking his head, so I gotta hear from him first. Talk to me, fam.
Damn.
Talk to me,
What's
fam.
with all these resurgences, bro?
I told y'all they was sitting back last year just waiting, bro.
What's going on? Like,
Family
fam,
ties, fam.
You have the way music. I'm not saying that your fans will abandon you per se if you don't put nothing out, but it's like you gotta feed the people, bro. Like your music becomes sustenance to the people in a way. You know what I'm saying? And granted, we all go through our things in life. You have a bad day, right? You still go to work. You still get it in. Your man ain't work in 4 days, in 4 years, Mo. You know what I'm saying?
So
Where's he
Dini,
been?
you're upset with him being away and returning finally? I don't hear happiness.
I'm upset that you're returning, and you're returning on some I'm out of here kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not returning on some I'm back. This is what it is.
But did you hear the record?
I'm talking about like his overall stance of what he's going through.
Dini seems like he feels like he's been betrayed by Kendrick by being away for so long.
I don't want to take it to, but all these people that just be dipping out like and just leaving the people starving for new music. You know what I'm saying?
That's their prerogative,
Like,
bro. Like they can do what the fuck they want.
You can do whatever you want,
Especially
and
when you
we
give
can
us-
do whatever we want and feel some type of way. You know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
upset that he was gone. I was.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You don't want to talk about he got the greatest albums, he's the new guy and taking over the scene, and so you of all people should be kind of tight. You know what I'm saying?
I was waiting for you to shoot that sin. I was patiently waiting for that.
That's my guy, but we gotta. That's his guy.
You know
Better
why?
you than me. I always shoot.
You know why? Because like, I didn't feel no type of way. Like, so, yeah. Do I want to hear new Kendrick music? Did I want to hear more Kendrick music in the last 4 years? Sure, I'm a fan of his music, but I'm not gonna be upset at somebody that clearly feels some type of way about his own fame. Like, if like you can tell by the type of artist he is and the things that he says in his song, like fame is not his thing, right? So if he wants to step away for 2, 3, 4 years, fuck it. It's his prerogative, right? He's a human being. He's allowed to, be a hermit if he wants to. But I always had this feeling like he's not gone. Like, and that's the thing that gets me is like, motherfuckers would be so impatient. Like, no, granted, 4 years is a long time. 4 years is a long time. 4 years is a long time.
Here goes Sin making excuses for his favorites. Again.
No, 4
Shout
years
out
is a
to
long
Demi
time.
again.
But
I was in my 20s the last time Kendrick
Right.
dropped. I am not anymore.
Wow,
Pre-COVID
bro.
vibes.
That's crazy,
but listen, Nas back in the night took like 3 years off from solo releases. There's been a
that when
lot of
his mom
art.
passed away?
Common took, huh?
Was that when his mom passed away?
I don't remember. Some of my favorite artists. Common took a long time between albums. Like, it happens.
But these guys
And
were
here-
they the guy when this happened?
Here's my thing. There are certain types of artists that are that may be more concerned with their status and their fame and their position in the game
And the bag.
and the bag than they are about their music.
I'm concerned
right?
about that too.
So, and for some artists to their detriment, right? So they'll like put out half-ass music just to stay relevant. There are artists that can put out music like Hove, prime example, used to put out music every year, but every year like he'd hit you with a dope single, with a dope album.
Something.
Drake has done it.
But to
a
your
certain
point,
extent, too.
not to jump in, I'm sorry, Sin, but he wanted that. Jay wanted the fame. He
No,
wanted the bag.
I
He wanted it all.
understand. I understand that.
Bro,
but
I don't.
what
Babies in between the time.
what I
this dude
what I
put out
don't
album.
what I don't like is
Falling
people
thing.
coming at Kendrick to like projecting what they feel is important about an artist onto Kendrick when Kendrick clearly doesn't find importance in what you find important.
So
he fell
Music
back.
is what we find
He
important.
Alright,
fell.
so-
He fell back. He was like, let me, disappear for a little bit, and when I come back, come back crazy. And that verse on the
Fire.
Baby Keem
Fire.
record that just dropped today, that is a gauntlet drop.
All right, so let me ask Mason this. Don't even react to the song. I feel like both Sin and Dini have done that. But my question to you would be based on what they're saying. Would you say, from your point of view, that Kendrick is a victim of the microwave era, being that we get now so much that now when a person takes a break, it's like, what the fuck? Why are you taking a break?
A victim of the microwave era, I wouldn't quite say that because 4 years is a long time, dog. You know what I mean? And you know, when you have Kendrick fans such as my guy Sin calling him the rapper of the decade when he only dropped, you know, every few years, you know what I mean? It just
You got 3 albums, 4 albums.
so I think it's not that, it's a combination of even back in the day, 4 years is a long time.
It is. Fair
you
is
know,
fair.
and while the quality is always there with Kendrick, nobody's upset about that. It's just so long. There's so many sound changes and so many, you know, hottest rappers we could go through in that, you know, in a 4-year span. So I wouldn't say he's a victim. It's just, you know, he decided to make that move, and we're gonna judge him the way we want to. You know,
we judge him based on the climate.
Right. Last time Kendrick dropped was before Lil Baby dropped, before
took the words out of my
6ix9ine
mouth.
dropped, before all of these people
The whole
that are
industry changed
essential.
around his
When's the
last
last
album.
time a top guy took that long for making albums, bro?
But did you listen to what he dropped today?
I dig it, bro.
Does it sound?
He landed like right on his feet.
It was beautiful.
Right on
Does
I
it-
don't think
does
the
it
man
sound out of
stopped
place?
Rapping. I just think he stopped putting music out, bro.
All right, so let me jump in here. I love the verse. In fact, I said it in the group chat. I'll say it on wax for our listeners. There was a mood change when I heard that verse.
Oh yeah.
Since that he dropped the gauntlet, I say he shifted the mood. Because now, you already worked on your album with Drake. Cole, you already dropped. I feel like, in fact, it's like playing spades and you didn't play your hand right. You played some of your spades too early, and now you about to get stuck because Kendrick is dropping. You know what I mean? You thought that 2 of diamonds was gonna walk, but the little Joker and the big Joker popped out. You didn't game plan for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the fact that they already dropped Certified Lover Boy's done. It's on its way September 3rd. And then he drops this verse and he rapping the way he raps. You can see that he's been listening. You can see that the cadence is a little bit different, but it's still Kendrick. It's still the brand name that you know and love. The voice changing, the breathing control, the expert ball work, everything is there. I'm of the belief, and I said this before I slander Kendrick, I think that his 2 contemporaries kind of fucked up dropping when they did. Because now when Kendrick drops, he's gonna blow them out the water. He is.
Think so?
Did you hear the rapping? He's
I
invigorated.
Thank you.
On
But
about the
I haven't
third or fourth
heard
run
nothing
back.
from Drake though.
See, because all that extra shit about how long he's been. Did you hear the verse?
It was
Did you hear the
crazy.
rap?
He's
We're not,
invigorated.
we're not saying that he lost his ability from him being away. I honestly think his shit happened because him and TDE is not seeing
No,
eye to
I
eye
think he was
business-wise.
always dropping. He said it himself. I was ducking the pandemic. He was waiting for this shit to get out the way. I think the album been done. Because remember, we got that commercial last year. He did the thing on the internet, and it was like he was standing on a pole or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
and there was
why-
a lot of
The
unreleased.
album was
records
always
dropping
coming,
last year.
son.
So why do you think he ain't dropped? Just because
Because
it's the pandemic?
because he's King Kendrick. If he drops, it's a tour involved. It's big records involved. I'm not dropping some shit on a DSP. I'm watching y'all faux people who want to say, yeah. What did he say about faux activists and all of that?
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. I'm a big deal. When I drop, the whole thing got to be in place. I'm not dropping and getting out the way like a Drake. You're not going to get a 3-pack from me, then I disappear and get my streams up real quick. When I drop, you get the Kendrick Lamar experience. And that's what I took away from that verse. It was an experience. We got about 3 different flows and three different voices in a 16 to 24. I didn't count. But it was a lot of bars. You know what I'm saying? But now I got to slander Kendrick. And this is where me, the New York nigga, New York bias, has to speak up. He always drops some subs, right? He's always taking shots at other rappers. But when it's time to get in the ring, Kendrick never gets in the ring.
He mentioned Kanye.
But he didn't mention him in a dissing way. He said he's talking about, you know what, Kanye changed his life, but I'm an old school Gemini. You know what I mean? I don't even listen. I don't recite bars. But the verse moved me enough to where I had to listen to this nigga like, oh, this nigga really spitting some shit. But it's like, how many times are you gonna tippy toe and throw subs before you get in the ring? I'm tired of you, Kendrick, subbing all of your contemporaries. Call Drake's name. Call Big Sean's name. They had beef before you start your shit.
Wait a
Before you
minute.
start your shit, they had beef. They had beef.
So what was the control verse? What was the control verse?
But what happened when they responded? Nothing.
The most overrated verse of the 2010s.
Thank
That was
you.
the Control
Thank
verse.
you. I've been, yo,
a
Mace,
lot of
where have you
people
been?
responded.
I've been saying it.
Hey,
Even Fabulous. And Fabulous could stand in the ring with a Kendrick. He said he dropped a Soul New York record. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying about Kendrick is this. You throw these subs and they're quality subs. On YouTube, there's guys who've put compilations together of subs thrown between Drake, Kendrick, Cole and Kendrick, Sean and Kendrick. Get in the ring, Kendrick. If you say you're the king, you have 2 to 3 contemporaries who are prepared for you. I don't want any more subs. You know what I'm saying? But this is the New Yorker in me because it came to a point, and we'll get into it later when we talk about Hov and Nas and the blueprint, all that other shit. At a certain point, words needed to be exchanged. We got that. We always got it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Even Pusha and Drake, we waited about 3 to 4 years, but words needed to be exchanged. At some point, names need to be said. Diss records needs to drop. If you say you're King Kendrick and there's 2 to 3 guys, at least 2, not because Big Sean ain't there, but Cole and Drake are there.
You gonna either jump in the ring?
He's
or
like-
you
he
gonna
wouldn't
win?
go-
Jump in the ring.
I can't
Yes.
see him going to Cole. What would he go with Cole for? Cole is like.
Jermaine Cole. He called his name. If there needs to be a definitive #1 rapper, not a consensus, a definitive. And I feel like do I believe that Kendrick can be that guy? Yes. But I want the bar work now. I want the competition.
So the way Deanie was saying that maybe Drake is sitting on something, you don't think Kendrick might be sitting on something?
Absolutely. But I want it.
4 years, he better be.
All I'm saying is I want it.
Better have a
Y'all niggas
golden
is
egg.
impatient as
The,
fuck, man.
the, the
Listen,
way the way he rapped today, and remember I said that Drake would beat Kendrick. If he rapped the way he rapped on this new
listen
shit,
here.
Drake is dead.
it's gonna mark
I
my
gotta
words.
hear
It's
what
gonna be
Drake got
worth.
going on,
It's
man.
gonna be worth the wait. This verse alone was worth the wait.
I was
gonna be
happy
worth
to
it.
hear this record because, you know, when you were hearing about rumors of the new Kendrick album, you were hearing that it was rock influence, you were hearing that it was little
Ain't no
punk
way.
influence.
He's a rapper.
So I was real happy to hear not only the lyrics, but sonically, the beat switches, the visuals. I was happy, you know. On about the 3rd or 4th listen, I found myself wondering, wishing that I could be with Cole or Drake to see how they were reacting to the verse. But I was, as a person who was definitely thinking that Kendrick fell off, that he was done.
What?
To be honest, yeah, man.
Wow,
yeah.
bro.
I
That's
throw it
crazy,
out there.
bro.
If you're in the Rap Roundtable group, you probably already know this, but I thought, you know, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like, Kenny, man, why did I doubt you, man?
Exactly.
You busy here
Shame
trumping
on me.
up Tupac and Eminem, and you doubt
Listen,
Kendrick.
and
What's
just
going on here?
let me
man?
talk. Let me talk
Come
my
on,
shit a
son.
little bit because in
Listen.
the last few weeks, motherfuckers been down Nas for I don't know how long. He's delivered 2 straight fire albums. Motherfuckers was down Lauryn Hill, Present Company included.
Present Company
drop the fire
included.
ass
Verse of the year,
I love
you hear
that
me?
song. Present Company
What?
included.
No,
What?
absolutely not. That was ironic. D. That was ironic. I know.
This is what we talk about. You don't love Lauren. Look at that reaction.
Verse of the year, though, bro.
Hey,
Motherfuckers down in Kendrick.
My son Stove got.
Yo, y'all gotta listen to me, man.
hey.
Y'all gotta listen to me some more.
I'm sorry,
We'll
guys.
talk about it later.
I apologize. We done talked about Drake, Kanye, Kendrick, quality rap. Hold on, before we change subjects. Anybody has anything to say about Baby Keem? Are we fucking with him on that project? Or do we fuck with Baby Keem in general? Quick thoughts, see or no?
It wasn't bad. His verse wasn't bad.
He's cool.
I've enjoyed everything I heard from Baby Keem so
Same.
far. Every song.
I was listening. He had a couple of songs in my clip before I even knew he was even affiliated with Kendrick. I was like, I heard, I think it was a song called "Shut the Fuck Up," and it just happened to be on Ballers, that HBO show from a couple years ago. I didn't know who he was, but I Shazammed it.
How you like
I'm
the
like,
verse
this
on
is
this
fire.
record, though?
He got off, but it's kind of like, you know,
Kendrick's on the record.
it's kind of like being Lamar Odom and Kobe goes for 81. Lamar played a good game that night, but then Kobe dropped 81. You remember what Lamar did? No, you didn't. We don't care about Baby Keem with his song. No,
Kobe.
and that's not a slight. But when you stand next to greatness, sometimes you get outshined.
Also, the beat switched like 3 times, bro.
I loved it.
Yo.
I loved it.
Immaculate every time.
I loved it.
so-
Yeah.
I loved it. All right, boom. We got to talk about Kendrick a little bit more. Are we disappointed in the end of the TDE relationship with now PG Lang being the next wave, or
Yes.
was this the? All right, go ahead, Danny. You jumped in.
I am upset because he said the words, "This is the last TDE album." So what about Ab Soul? What about Q? What about
The
Rock?
Black Hippie album.
There you have it. We're not gonna get that. If that's
Nah.
the last joint,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
that might be his
You-
last solo.
You were still holding out hope for that?
bro,
I lost
I'm
hope
not
for
sure
that
that
long
was
time
gonna
ago.
happen.
whenever they was on a record together, it was beautiful.
When did Good Kid, Mad
Crazy.
City drop?
12.
Like a long
2012.
time ago.
And we still
October.
didn't get Black Hippie.
All we got is remixes to each other's songs.
We got like 3 or 4 Q albums
Listen.
since then.
Kendrick is like
J-Rock went viral since
he's
then.
in a
Yeah.
whole other plane, man. He's in a whole other realm right now. Like he's not.
You
He's
hate
just
to see the separation though from where somebody
yeah,
started.
but I mean, sometimes you outgrow
when
a
Jane Dane
situation,
broke
bro.
up.
Like you can't.
I wouldn't go that far. He's an artist. He wants to establish his own
True,
label.
but he really is the face of the label though. It's kind of like who's the go-to guy now? It's gonna be Q, and I love Q,
I mean, they
but you're losing your golden egg. You know what I'm saying?
Scissor.
They have SZA.
Scissor's the problem.
what they have now is a situation where their rap megastar is gone.
That's
But
what
SZA gonna move them units.
Their Pulitzer Prize rap
SZA's
artist is
the pop
gone.
star.
Their multiple Grammy-winning artist is gone.
SZA's right there.
Kendrick got a lot of Grammys.
SZA makes it possible for them business-wise.
That's true.
Right.
The acclaim on the rap side is gone.
I always thought
But-
Ab Solo was the best rap out of the group anyway.
There you go. But Schoolboy is not dead. Schoolboy
That's
is
a very
not-
hipster
he made-
take.
And still
Yeah.
dropping.
That's a very
There you
hipster
go.
take.
But I'm sorry to shift the mood, but we gotta go forward. We could get into this rapidy rap shit for hours.
Hey,
But
we-
sadly, we got this silly rap situation with Lil Nas X and Lil Boosie. We won't spend too much time on it, but it's in the culture. We gotta talk about it. There's people calling Lil Boosie homophobic. There's people who are questioning Lil Nas X and his blood in his shoes and what seems to be devil worshiping Illuminati shit. I guess my question for the roundtable, because we won't spend too much time, is it? What do we make of this? Is this a situation where nobody's right or wrong? I don't know. Sid, talk to me. You're the adult here.
I mean, if I have to have it, I mean, I don't really care about either of these artists, but if I'm gonna have a take, it's just why, like Boosie, why are you so obsessed with Lil Nas X? Like why, like you gotta go on Facebook and have a rant like all the time, every time. Like,
Come on, man.
let that kid live, bro. Like just, I don't know why you're so obsessed with him, yo. Other than the fact that he's very openly and kind of flamboyantly gay, like.
Allegedly.
Well,
Because we don't even know at this point.
I think he came out and said it.
yeah, he's pretty open about it. So, yeah, I mean, if the shoe fits, then Boosie does come off as a bit of a homophobe.
And that's the thing. You know what? Let's be clear. And because of this trying time that we're in where you have to choose your words carefully, audience, we don't give a fuck about people's sexual orientations. We here like women, but if you're a dude and you like dudes, that's your business. We don't care. We don't think about that. But when it comes to Lil Boosie, I think what he's trying to like convey comes from a good place. I'm not even sure if he's homophobic,
Boosie's an old school nigga.
but
man.
I'm not sure if he's able to articulate what he's trying to say. I think
Right.
Boosie's more concerned about Lil Nas X's messaging.
Oh,
and
the kids.
And the kids and how it might be received more so than I don't like gay people. But because he can't convey his message properly, he allows people to interpret it how they want to interpret. That's how I look at that.
Verbiage matters.
Can I come back in?
Absolutely.
Jump in.
I don't. This whole, but the kids, like gangster rap,
Right.
like
Kids are born gay.
sexual rap, like there's so many things that you could go after. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he is cherry picking Lil Nas X as being a bad influence to the kids in a culture that, I mean, let's be real about it. Like, you should probably be 18 and up to hear certain
hear
music
Boosie songs.
So hear Boosie songs, hear a lot of songs from the genre. You know what I mean? I didn't see him pop up when what's the name? Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion.
Right. When the
I
WAP
didn't
was
hear
whopping.
him pop up. There were people that popped up. Boosie was not one of them.
Because he likes WAP.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he doesn't like Lil Nas X. And
But is
why
it
would that
about
be?
Lil Nas X or is it about the blood in the shoe, giving the devil a lap dance in the video? Mace, you're not touching this grenade, are you?
I'm a
I'ma
Boosie
pass
fan.
you the ball, nigga.
I'm a Boosie fan. I'm probably the only Boosie music fan at this table, to
Yeah,
be
you are.
honest.
Man,
You know what I mean? So I'm actually a Boosie fan. So I'm saying this with love. But Boosie, he's the wrong messenger. Even if, and I'm gonna say, I don't hold the same values as Boosie. I don't feel the same way. But even if you do, Boosie's the wrong messenger. Boosie is somebody that has been on death row for murders. You know what I mean? Boosie is someone, you know what I mean, who hired a prostitute to sleep with his 13-year-old son.
Let's talk about it.
Boosie's not who we want to hear this from. Boosie's, self-righteous thing that he has going on, and it seems like it only comes out when there's, homosexuality in hip-hop. No, nobody wants to hear it from you, Boosie. Maybe you should ghostwrite your speeches for somebody or something. Because you're the wrong messenger. You don't care about the kids. You don't care about the ultimate society largely getting better. You know what I mean? So I think when we talking about the person here, he absolutely is not coming from a sincere place. So even if you believe the same beliefs as him, I don't think that you want him giving off those messages, to be honest.
Shout out to Mace.
It's a fact.
Shout out to Mace. Another episode of Poor Messaging. Busta Rhymes, anti-COVID rant. I'm sorry, listeners. I wanted to get the sound to play for you guys who might not have heard it, but we're adults. Sometimes you don't have enough time in a day to get things done. But nevertheless, we got to talk about our societal vibes. We got into the gay talk. We got to talk about Busta Rhymes and this anti-COVID thing. If after, what is it now, like
a year and a half,
17 months total since New York shut down March 2020, and the amount of people who've passed away. And again, I lived right around the corner from the situation they found in Brooklyn where they had all the bodies piled up. I lived around the corner from that. So if we still, this COVID not real energy and anti-mask energy and whatever you feel about this pandemic, I felt COVID. I've seen COVID. It ain't like, what we doing, Busta? That's really my energy. Like, at this point in the game, what the fuck are we doing? If you saying that you need to get money outside and COVID is fucking your back up, just say that. That's my energy right now. Dini, I see you stewing over there.
No, it could have went two ways. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed this, and I'm gonna veer off for a second on this. I noticed this because where I work, I have to wear my mask while I'm taking care of what I'm taking care of. And children's coming, and I wave to the child. Child does nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I bounce my eyes, the child smiles, because we're used to seeing facials. We're used to seeing expression. We're used to seeing vibes. We're used to seeing smiles, communication. I think Busta's just a little stir-crazy. Well, it could be the money too. But I think he's a little stir-crazy from, being trapped in the zone for like almost 2 years. When you a dude that's been traveling the whole world pretty much at leisure where the dollar takes you, you've been all over the planet. So to be stuck in your own crib, you know what I'm saying? The world's freeing up. I do get where he's coming from, but nonetheless, this thing is taking people out. So I would suggest mask up. Sorry to say it, Bus. You know what I'm saying? I know you want the smiles, the energy, what he said, the good conductor of energy and shit. I dig it. But people are dying, so mask up, my brother.
Nate, talk to me. How do you feel about Bus wilding with this whole situation? Because he's wilding. Like, there's no other way to say it. Put it this way. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
Nah, go ahead.
Whatever you choose to believe about COVID, I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm telling you to digest what's already taking place and the lives lost when it comes to this pandemic. Go ahead, Mace.
So Busta comes from, and, not to offend anyone, but Busta comes from that generation that seems to kind of be in that anti-mask, anti-vaccine, is it the 5G, generation? So, I'm already taking what he says with a grain of salt because I'm sure Busta's not necessarily the most knowledgeable on the situation. But I think that it's ultimately money related. You know what I mean? Shows have been shut down. Busta got child support. Busta got bills. Busta got a lot of things he got to worry about. And there's a lot of rappers, not only Busta Rhymes, I know a couple rappers selling verses for $2,500 on IG.
Damn it, man.
Yeah, so no offense. I just think that it's ultimately money related. He's ready to get back to business. And he doesn't care about your health over his pockets, if you want to be honest.
Wow, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Boss, I just feel like in that situation, where we're at as a society, that was not the right play, especially a black person. We can't be on some anti-mask energy sounding like a MAGA supporter. Not saying Busta is that, but his energy is very much in line with MAGA supporters. As a person who has a pulse on that side of the culture, politically and socially, seeing Busta take that stance, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, it's disappointing. Because I mean, let's be real about it. Like a health issue like this, a pandemic like this, that doesn't care about it doesn't care about your political leanings. It doesn't care about the skin on your face or any of that. You know what I mean? It affects everyone, but because of the traditionally or historically, the health issues that we have had in our communities, right? It's going to affect people in our community all that much more, right? So that the messaging should be take care of yourselves as best you can, right? Even if you don't believe in the vax, right? Just say, take care of yourself as best you can. Leave it at that. But to be, to go on this, to rail against like masks and stuff. Look, I don't like the mask either. Nobody likes having to wear a mask, right? It's aggravating, it's annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do to protect yourself and make sure you're healthy. Now, if you're of the belief that this is, some conspiracy or whatever, well, I mean, Busta was telling us there was only 5 years left back in 95. So if we want to talk about like this is probably not the guy that you want this messaging from, Busta's probably not the guy that you want to take advice about a pandemic, about COVID-19. So
we can't make this shit up.
We can't. It's documented. 1995. Only 5 years left. That's what he used to say.
Extinction level?
No, it was the coming, then extension level event. Then extension level was like there's only 3 years left. He was literally counting down to 2000, thinking the world was going to blow up.
So you're saying that Busta's been giving off too much conspiracy?
He's always been on that conspiracy theory-ish adjacent type of vibe. So that's where I feel like this is coming from. I mean, it could also be, like he's missing the bags, the paydays he used to get from all these shows that aren't happening right now.
I think it's money related.
It could be money related, but it could also just be that maybe he doesn't believe in this shit.
It gotta be money related. This man was talking about civil liberties like he's working on Fox News. I couldn't believe it, man. What was going on?
Like he fell asleep with Fox News on and woke up and just became a Republican overnight or some shit.
He said, when I used to holler at a girl, I used to have to look at her face.
And that's the thing, like,
I'm like, I dig it,
wow,
bro.
And then this is why I
That's
say, like,
crazy, bro.
COVID does not discriminate. Like, to talk about civil liberties, usually we're talking about, like, there is a group that's in control that is, trying to control another group. But COVID doesn't give a fuck what group you in. It's going to take you out.
Unless you want some shit where and this is not a conspiracy theory show, but if you want some shit where you feel like it was man-made and it's population control, that's a whole different conversation. And if Busta's on that kind of time, cool. But at the end of the day, you can't be on stage as a black man in America saying what you said with all the information in front of you and the amount of black people that virus took out, the amount of lives that were lost that were black all over the nation. You can't say that, Busta. You can't.
A lot of your fans, Busta, remember that.
What you also can't say is members of the Wu-Tang Killer Bees are flunkies.
No, you can't.
Spicy.
NORE.
You can't say that, Nori.
Good thing we got the ice pack here
Drink
already.
Champs. I think he was a little drizz.
Schmizzed.
He was having a moment. He said something that in a sober time he might have kept to himself, right?
Yeah,
but
man.
he said it. The Killer Bees swarmed.
And with vigor.
Sincere.
Yeah.
What the fuck, fam?
Talk to
ready.
us.
They not flunkies?
I need to hear about this.
Listen, man. Look, yeah, so like Jar was saying, this is probably a clear case of just somebody being a famous person with a platform that a lot of people listen to, being too drunk with a microphone in front of his face, right? So when you're drunk, you say certain shit. You don't really think about it. Your filter put your filter away. And he just said some shit that was disrespectful. And let's be clear about it. It was disrespectful. No matter how you feel about, the extended Wu-Tang family, right? If you're a fan of them, if you're not a fan of them, if you never fuck with them, or if you fuck with the whole extended fam, whatever your level of fandom is, we can all probably agree that calling people a flunky is just not going to fly with those people that's being called flunkies
at all.
So it's an unfortunate choice of words. He probably thought better about it later,
in a sober
time when he got called out. I'm hearing that he talked to Killer Priest and he talked to some other people, but I kind of feel though that somebody at the table should have said, this is not the move.
Who's gonna say it if they all drunk?
Well, that's true.
Mickey Fax should have said it, considering
I
this
honestly
issue.
thought I would think.
He apologized though.
He did.
I would think
He
better of DJ Effin because I think he's he's the one
straight guy at the table.
and he's the one that's like most plugged in with the culture. Like, no matter how maybe you sold 2 records, he's still gonna show you respect. Yeah. So for him to be like, oh ha 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 Shaheem ha ha ha. That
was a bad moment.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like I thought you would be like the voice of reason here. However,
okay,
I want to say another thing though. I want to say something else. I want to add on to this.
Careful, sir.
Well, no, because the thing that I don't like about situations like this is that when the rage machine gets going, then there's all this hyperbole and overcorrecting, and then all of a sudden like, oh, yo, how you gonna disrespect the legend Shaheem? Like, look, Shaheem deserves respect.
The rugged child.
Killer Priest deserves respect. Sons of Man, Killer Army, everybody deserves respect.
Syndicate.
But let's be real. Everybody can't be a legend.
Fact.
You know what I mean? Like if everybody's a legend, then nobody's a legend.
Sometimes you're just a veteran,
Yeah, you're a veteran. That's a good word right there.
Early start.
Here's the thing. I've said this many times, and I'm gonna say it again. A lot of y'all rap fans are full of shit. Y'all get in y'all feelings, y'all get caught up in moments, and y'all say some of the wildest shit I have ever heard. And then you get mad at me and try to troll me on social media when I say that you're full of shit. It's okay. We're all full of shit. You know how much shit I've said that was complete bullshit? But that's how I felt.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? Sin. Whose team are you on here, damn it?
Damn it. Blame it on the Migos.
Nevertheless, we say some shit, we get caught up, but do not get on Twitter trying to spam the mentions, trying to pull shit off as fact. Like, stop.
Word.
Just say you like this nigga.
Yeah.
You was a fan of this nigga, and I'm belligerent right now. I'll respect that. But don't try to push off your takes as facts. The fuck out of here. Before we move on, Dini, do you have anything to add to this topic or just sin cover everything?
A lot of people are reaching out. I think Killer Priest said he would love to get on the show and talk to NORE and all that. Shaheem, the rugged child, actually said they wanted to storm the building.
They're doing too much.
They wanted monetary compensation, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just think that can be a conversation held.
That felt a little cloudy though. But like now they trying to come up because they back in the conversation.
The word flunky will never sit right with a nigga, bro. You can laugh with your friends. Hey, you a joker, you a clown hat. The word dick flunky, the word dick riders, the certain things you calling your mans set bad tone.
You aging his job.
So you gotta be careful. I think your man was a little schmizzed, a little drizzed, and I think he got a little carried away, but at the same time, is that how NORE feels when he's saying that on some?
I believe that's how he felt.
Some jokey mokey shit, or he is like, yo, these niggas are really some doja type shit. Like it depends on the type of energy it felt like, especially when the liquor's in you, when the liquor's in the system.
For you to say flunky,
yeah, I don't know.
Not saying you was a member, but you wasn't lit.
Flunkies and niggas that don't even exist was the word.
Yo, and look, and then look, not to talk too much about another pop, right? But NORE was he was an artist. He's part of the culture, right? So, when they put out the Drink Champs account. put out the message on Instagram like, we're gonna go live tomorrow or something, or we're gonna, address the issue, address this misunderstanding was the word that they used. I looked at that and I read it and I'm like, how is this a misunderstanding? Like, you called niggas flunkies and motherfuckers that didn't even exist, they're non-exist. You said they're non-existent.
Maybe he didn't mean Shaheem and Killer Priest of them. Maybe he meant the dudes who was claiming Wu, who wasn't even rapping like that. They was just saying they was part of the Wu.
I think NORE got that's just how he feels about people that are under him or in his mind in the rap game.
Nore's
Because Nore's had that same issue with Mike Geronimo about the comments he made on the show. He had those problems with Nature about the comments he made on the show. I think NORE just get drunk, and if they didn't go plat like him, he start talking crazy.
Is NORE one of them Queens niggas who just talk crazy if he wasn't lit? Is that what it is?
Probably.
I think so.
No offense, Queens, but y'all got some shit talking ass niggas in Queens. I'm not saying nothing that's wrong. Niggas in Queens talk a lot of shit. You think
Queens.
Harlem is bad? Queens niggas talk mad
Queens is gonna
shit.
show up in our comments now.
Hey,
Shit that make
Yo,
your
how you
soul
gonna
burn slow.
disrespect the legendary Queens?
I'm not disrespecting them. I'm saying y'all niggas are shit. Queens get the money.
Queens, for
They
niggas
talk
be
their
caught
shit.
up in the teens, done Queens.
But I feel like he said what he really felt. I feel
He said that with his whole chest.
I feel like he's seen certain niggas, and if you wasn't part of the Wu-Tang Clan, the OG syndicate, if you was talking about what was it called, Killer Bees,
Killer Army,
Killer
Wu
Army,
Syndicate,
Wu, like all of that,
Sons of Man.
If you them niggas doing those videos that didn't have like, the big production and the major label support, he was talking to them niggas.
So here's another thing I was thinking about when this whole thing happened. Like, okay, so now we see like the aggressiveness, everyone's running to check him. I'm like,
cause it's clout, bro.
But no matter how much you check that, man, if that's how the nigga felt, that's kind of how the nigga felt. Like, you can't beat a nigga into thinking you was better than he think you is. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but I feel like you gotta think about it. Like, I'm not trying to front on the gentleman that he called flunky.
Not at all.
What I'm saying is that in this internet era, people see an opportunity to level up, right? You look at what those Wu affiliates were doing. We don't know what they were doing. We don't know if they have 9 to 5s or whatever the case may be. We don't know what their lives are about. But by NORE saying what he said on that platform, it gets a few of them lit, and now they can go viral. Because look what we did. When was the last time anybody saw Shaheem?
Or no, I said it in the group chat. When was the last time somebody uttered the words "Sons of Man"?
There you go.
So
now when they talk about monetary compensation, videos going crazy on the socials, they see that they understand the same way we know how the internet works. They know. So if they could get a bag out of it, get an appearance on Flex or some shit.
Imagine a Wu Syndicate album came out of this, where they all just say, you know what?
That's gonna go up.
You about to go for the gun? Like
that's gonna go the same way that when J.R. Ryder and the Hell Rally and 40 Cal dropped that record just now.
Like,
That's gonna go the same way.
But
that was a good album, by the way.
They should have dropped that record the night after the version.
You got the eyes and the ears on you. You might as well utilize it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, bro, but I just feel like, nevertheless, NORE was wrong. But I'm looking at them and I'm seeing them being opportunists. Once you start talking about you gotta pay us and give us financial compensation, you're bugging the fuck out. Like we wildin'.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
what
crazy.
part of the streets is that?
Like when they snuffed Joe Button and they checked him, I can understand that level of energy.
Yeah.
But saying you want monetary compensation, you're looking for a come up. Even if it's not the case, that's what it feels like. You're trying to extort NORE. NORE's not giving you no fucking bread.
And then you're kind of supporting his point with shit like that. So don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
You one step away from suing, motherfucker.
There you go.
Yeah, that's essentially.
Let's move on. Let's get on a more brighter note. We won't spend too much time because the project just dropped.
Shout out to the Wu Syndicate though. You know what I'm saying? I used to tap in. We tapped in.
I used to fuck with
hip
Killer
hop
Army
heads, so we
heavy.
tapped in. Shaheem the Rugged Child. You know what I'm saying? L.A. Is it L.A. or Al? Well, I forgot. I always forget my son's name. Al.
messing up the momentum.
I'm a little smidge, a little bit of the Migos.
Anyway,
Killer Army, Sons of Man,
shouts to the Wu Syndicate.
Shout out to the whole. Shout out to the whole.
A team that was clearly inspired by the Wu. And the leader of that team, Griselda, and of course Westside Gunn, drops Hitler Wiz Hermes 8, aka Sincerely Adolf. The project drops. We can't give you too much because we're recording this the day it drops, so we're not gonna front and tell you it's a classic or it's fire after one listen like some of these other pods do. And they didn't even really sit with the pod with the music yet. But for the fellas who, especially Sin, who again I always give him his credit. I'm gonna always do it on the show. Sincere brought Griselda to the Rap Roundtable, and it's part of why Griselda is where they at because they supported the movement that is Griselda.
That's a fact.
I know we have some early takeaways from this project. So Sin, Bat, lead off, talk to us, family.
Yeah, man. So first of all, Westside Gunn had told us that he was he told us he was going to retire. That was the first thing he told us. But as we all know, that rappers never retire
ever.
Then he told us that he was going to drop a double album in August, right? And we talked about it.
Yeah, we did
at the last.
Dini
last
put the cape on. But go ahead.
I said he gonna make something happen.
Oh, come on, son. He's gonna do this and that. I ain't forget.
He gonna have some joints on it.
Yeah.
We gonna talk.
But what ended up happening is he dropped an album, which he's calling Side A. So
smart play.
So supposedly, right, he'll have a Side B coming out probably sometime soon. As far as this project that he just dropped today, and again, like Jarv said, I've only given it one listen straight through because we're recording on the day that it dropped. But I'm digging it. I like what I heard. I need to sit with it some more, but this is probably my favorite project of his since Pray for Paris.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't a huge fan of Fly God 2. What was the other one? Who Made the Sunshine?
Right.
It was cool. This is, I think, his return to form. So I'm glad he dropped it, and I'm glad that he didn't retire because, like, those projects being his, you know, his projects that he dropped on the way out, you know, it would have been a sort of a decline. But he came back strong with this one. The features are dope. Stoke God Cooks. Who else was on it? The homie Rome Streets. Yo, he the two verses that he put on that on those songs.
Smoked
them. Lil Wayne is on the record,
he got
off. That whole record.
That last couple of features from Wayne
has been all right.
Yeah, man.
He found the pocket again.
Has been all right.
Last 10 years.
But yeah, but
the last one I said.
We ain't saying
making sure, guys. Making sure.
I said what I said.
But I'm digging sort of the vibe that I'm getting from the album in the sense that it sounds like, just like with we were talking about King's Disease 2, it sounds like they were, you know, dudes were all in the studio together, cooking together. You felt the chemistry. You felt like, you know, the cohesiveness. Organic. Wow. It was a dope project. I need to listen to it some more, but, you know, shouts to Westside Gunn, you know, always putting together, you know, quality stuff.
I'm gonna say this. I'm probably gonna get lambasted.
Okay.
But Stove God Cook's contribution to this album could possibly be somewhat on par to what Ghost kind of did for Ray. In a sense of Cuban
high
links.
Praise.
Bro.
That's very high praise.
That man was everywhere on that album, bro.
Also, that's calling Raekwon the Westside Gunn of the
See, you're doing a lot. I said what I said, bro. Don't do me like that.
You just pulled the internet move right
there.
So you saying
he tried it.
All right. I'll fall back.
But the contribution was beautiful, man. As you mentioned, Rome Streets, two verses, and it's almost the lineup we said on the show. We said it would be dope if we got Mac Hami on there.
Yeah.
We said
that's what I forgot. Mac Hami.
It would be dope if we got Kiss on there. I said it'd be dope if we found Push on there. We got Conway. We got your Boldy.
Yeah, Boldy.
Boldy was on there a few times.
Conway Cook,
Benny.
Conway Cook, Benny Cook, everybody.
It's pretty much the one album version of what I hoped it was gonna be. Yeah. And he didn't force feed us the two albums, which is smart. Because as Jarv said, I must acknowledge what Jarv said.
Thank you.
That's a whole lot of Westside Gunn. You know what I'm saying? I listened to. But with this one joint, I've only listened to it once. But the energy I've gotten from the project, I ain't gonna lie. The first two records blew my. I was like, what are we doing here? But then after that, I was like, whoa.
It picked up momentum.
I got something to say about this whole thing.
Yeah,
okay, finish your point, Dini.
No, I jump in. I want to hear it.
You know what? It's funny that we do this pod, right? And you know what? We'll get our adulation over time. But the fact that we sat at this table, talked about the fact that we didn't want a double album from Westside Gunn. You said that you needed X, Y, and Z as far as features go. I said I don't want to hear Westside Gunn rapping for 2 albums because he can't do it. And the fact that what we laid out is exactly what transpired. Even the first 2 songs. Westside wasn't here to give you a mixtape or an album. He was here to give you a listening experience. He was trying to give you Griselda cinema. The first 2 tracks were the lead up to the actual intro, which was track 3. Yeah, that's where the album begins. Exactly. But what he was giving you was the opening scene with the first 2 tracks, right? You mentioned Stove God Cooks. I'll take it a step further than what you said. You said he was the ghost, right? Stove God was the MVP of this project. Everything that Stove God was on with this project made the song better, even if it was just a hook. Stove God, listen,
right now.
Rap fans. Stove God has some special.
Listen to what I'm saying. All of the lit rap and the vibey rap, no shots, Dini, that you love, right? If you want quality essence, Stove God Cooks is that guy. The voice, the lyrical ability, the fact that he's willing to even give you some melodies.
Yeah.
The motherfucker understands the assignment each and every time.
He reminds me of a like I would call him like a street underground Mos Def.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
And he was talking his shit on that album.
He was.
Right? And I felt like, you know what I took away from this album more than anything else? One, that Westside knows his weaknesses. He's a person that listens to the audience. If we were saying that we don't want a double album from Westside Gunn because he's not capable of that kind of level of lyricism, I'm pretty sure we weren't the only ones. I'm sure there's people in the circle that said, Westside, you're bugging. I'm sure Westside was ahead of the game and said, you know what, if I give you a double album, I'm gonna feature niggas who are in the syndicate, in the circle, who are on a guy like the Rome Streets, who's not on.
There you go.
But you know what? You ran in the same circles that I ran in. Stove God, you ran in the same circles I ran with. And I got this Rock Nation affiliation.
Bingo.
I got distribution through Empire. I'm gonna bring all of y'all on and give Shine this light. This album wasn't even about. There were songs in the album he didn't even rap on.
Bro, he could have had Conway and Benny do the same thing that Stove God did, but he didn't want a Griselda album. He still wanted a Westside Gunn album.
Open in the corner, Dini.
Talk to me.
Also, you might be building up the team.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
You heard Rome's verse.
You see the
synergy right now.
You might be building up the team.
You
might be recruiting motherfuckers.
I see you, nigga.
Boom. Conway and Benny have graduated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
The next Griselda 3 is gonna be Rome Streets and Stove God.
Oh my goodness.
Stove God is the head of the class.
Oh my
Mac
goodness.
is already
From the
there.
last project, Fly God 2, we understood that he was positioned in
Mac Homie could be creeping back.
Mac Homie's right there. But to me, the way Stove God was featured, having Rome on tracks back to back on that project,
And that ends the drama, I guess, between them. They're making music together.
That's what I'm saying. Benny and Conway have graduated. Westside has identified the next 2 to 3 artists who are gonna graduate and get to that next level to bring the bars to the forefront. It's gonna be Stove God, Rome, and Mac Homie.
Bars matter,
Mac Homie's flicking it up with Hov.
Yeah.
The decision has already been made. You know what I'm saying? What I said to you last episode, D, I said, if he gets in his curator bag, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
What did he do in this project?
Got in his curator
There's
bag.
3 songs on this project aside that he's not even on. 1, 2, and I forget the other number. Shout out to fucking Sauce Walker. I didn't know he could rap like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa, see, that's East Coast bias. New York bias. Southern accent with East Coast bar work.
I think a couple years ago when we did our year-end list, I think I put 1 or 2. I put at least 1 Sauce Walker song on there.
Son.
Yeah, he's nice.
I think Drake stole from him too.
So I'm looking at Westside Gunn, and I see what he's doing now. Westside Gunn is the underground curator. If you got lit with the rap, to quote Rome Streets when he was on this show, right? And you're underground, I am going to be your beacon to being seen by more eyeballs because the culture resides with Griselda. I saw on social media, shout out to my Short Side family in Canarsie. But one of the producers from Shoreside said, I don't want to out him. I don't want to put his name on it because I don't want to make him feel bad or make people shoot at him. But he complained about the beat selection. And I felt like, when I listened to the project, I'm like, you didn't get it. It wasn't about getting the flyest beats.
Some of them shits didn't even have drums.
What Westside Gunn did was he went back to basics.
That's been his whole aesthetic the whole time. So I don't understand how you go.
But he kind of veered away from it the last couple of projects. It got a little more. It was a little more gloss on the last two projects. After Pray for, even the last three after Pray for Paris. But Pray for Paris and the two that came after it. Just a little more gloss, a little more 808s here and there.
He's on the Westside project.
Yeah, go back and listen to Pray for Paris, bro. It didn't sound like this.
That shit was street.
This was a return to form. It's not about the beats. It's not about car music. It's about the rap.
Right.
No drums. Raw. I hate the babble, but I'm like, from that one listen, I'm like, all right, I get it now. Westside, I always love when niggas understand their weaknesses. Westside know what he can and what he can't do. So why the fuck would why would I give y'all double album if I keep saying I'm not a rapper?
And got his teammates to fill in those spots.
Bro, Westside might have he had a Draymond game. He's Draymond.
And he
10 and 12.
And he pulled back on the ad-libs.
Oh, come on.
Boom!
That came from up top, though. Someone told him to chill. Someone told him to chill.
When he threw the R&B sample in between the verse, that was tough, too.
Oh.
Everything landed right where it was supposed to. I can't wait to listen to it again and again and again. Before we gonna have to rate the project.
I have a verse of the year contender.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Stove God Cooks, the verse where he was talking about dude made him wait for the work while he was cleaning the crib. And that verse was different, bro.
Nah, he has a knack for imagery.
Imagery. Even when he was talking about Stove was talking about why he hates cameras to this day, and he's lucky that the shit jammed on. I'm like, Stove,
come on,
MVP. Man. Mace, we know you didn't tap in with the project.
Apologies.
But you're here to let us know that there's more to rap than older niggas rapping.
There are.
So tap in, let the people know what's going on with the younger side of hip hop right now, man.
Well, even though the heavyweights got a lot going on right now, the youngest doing their thing too. And the first thing we're gonna speak about today, New York bias. We're gonna speak about New York, and we're gonna speak about the fact we all know about the drill wave, the Brooklyn drill, everything that's going on.
Right, I'm always throwing it in there.
But check this out, y'all. Bronx drill is all the way up right now. The Bronx drill wave is the next movement that's about to happen. I'm talking about K-Flock. I'm talking about D-Thing, and especially B-Love, who has a Song of the Summer contender. If you know, you know. With the Wayne Wonder sample. I don't know if y'all heard that blasting out of speakers.
My boy just texted me about that.
That's the joint, along with, with that Gallus joint, that might be the Song of the Summer for the youngins.
Great, killed that.
So whatever y'all do, make sure y'all pay attention to the youngins coming out of the Bronx right now. While I don't endorse, the real life drama that's going on, I'm a little bit too old for that.
You a sidewalk nigga.
Right. Comfortably.
Facts.
So, but y'all need to check that out. You know what I mean? The Bronx drill is definitely going up. K-Flock just dropped the joint this week. Is y'all ready? It's already at 1 million views after like 2 days. They're getting some traction going on over there. You know what I mean? River Park Towers, Soundview, shouts to all of them,
I wanted to ask you this. There was a song that I stumbled across. I don't know if you heard it. With Sleepy Hollow and Coil Ray, like he's starting to go viral with that.
Sleepy Hollow is doing his thing. That joint with Coil Ray, that's a good joint. But he also got a joint right now with Chef and A Boogie called Run It Up. That's really gaining traction out here. 3 of the youngest, killing shit in New York. Apologies.
The Coil Ray record was fire.
But it's not for us. But it's going viral, bro.
It is. Sleepy and Chef, we speaking about the Bronx, but if anybody out of Brooklyn still holding it down is Chef G and Sleepy Hollow, just like you said.
From Brooklyn, right?
Polo out of Shaw.
Polo G?
Right. Yeah, Chicago. So, speaking of that, we speaking on Chef G. He just got arrested recently, so that's unfortunate. A lot of these young rap stars
know how to kill their momentum.
They sure do, man. They sure do. And he recently dropped the IG story that said he wasn't going to be released to 2023. So I hope that he has, enough in the tuck, because he's definitely one of the hottest and even not even just hottest. He's got quality. Y'all got to check out Chef G. definitely got a lot of quality going on. So, after we address New York, we address the town like we supposed to. But another joint that's out right now, Mo 3, rest in peace soon. Yeah, him and NORE, who I know Jar was a fan of. I don't know if you guys are up on it, but him and NORE just dropped a new joint. What's that called? That's they just dropped a new joint together. It's posthumous, it was recorded after Mo 3 passed, but that joint is going crazy right now. Before he passed. But that's going off right now, so y'all might want to check that out. I was listening to that a few times.
Mo 3 was nice, bro.
Yeah, Mo 3, and I didn't know
over
about
here
it.
Like who? I don't give a shit.
Y'all saw me lean back, right?
And I wasn't the biggest Mo 3 fan, to be honest. I never even knew about his Boosie. I knew him as a background guy with Boosie, but Mo 3, even though they got him dropping posthumous diss records against his ops, I don't know what that's about.
It doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't make sense at all, and they're dropping diss records back to him, so I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, I'm gonna jump in
because
I just want to be in the mix. Can't help myself. I also saw Mace at 504 and said that Kanye is gonna produce his album. He's gonna executive produce that.
What?
Yeah, I saw the same.
Yeah.
Favi.
I saw that at around 6 o'clock today. He said he's gonna do my album. He trusts his judgment. Deanie, I know you love you some Fabio, fam. Talk to me. The thought of Yeezy next to Fabio.
This is a big deal. Okay. I feel like Kanye could push Favi to the next level. Mm-hmm. But I don't want Favi to elevate to not elevate as far as skill, because something about the lack of elevation from Favi as far as like rap skill.
He gotta elevate, bro.
But I kind of like this sometimes. A quarter second off beat, Favi. You know what I'm saying? I like sometimes I hear 5 verse and I'm like, perfection.
Pooping.
Every once in a while, the
we in the studio.
You mean like sharpening his sword? You mean not elevating like in the
I don't
game.
mean elevate as far as game. Let me get my words right, because not getting your words right is not good. What I'm saying is
you like the raw energy.
I like the raw, uncooked version of what Favi has been.
We don't need that anymore.
I know.
With the passing of Pop Smoke, remember when I said it's on Fabio now, and he didn't pick that ball up.
The other day when they had that post about who would you bring back to life, Big and all that, bro, a small part of me felt I would bring Pop back, bro.
Pop was really gonna do something ridiculous.
Bro.
I was the new 50.
Pop was the first one who showed you that
genre.
It don't have to be drill. I'm gonna bring you that English sound, rap over it on some drill shit, combine grime with drill, and go viral.
And when you hear some of the posthumous album records, you can there was so many lanes for that kid, bro. He could have did them.
And I think
R&B-ish kind of records.
I'm gonna say this now, and I'm gonna throw the alley to Macy to finish this for me. When Fabio fumbled the pack, I think he opened the door for another New York act in that same grime, that same vibe. Pardon me. Busy Banks. How you feel about Busy, Mace?
Listen here, Busy Banks, he's one of the best youngins out of New York. If you ask me, he reminds me of a Clue era Fab, or early Fab, Sport I'm talking about. Back then, freestyling with NORE and them. To me, he's the most lyrical out of all the young Brooklyn drill dudes. You know what I mean? He's putting together bars, he's giving you punches. You know what I mean? He's giving you double entendres. He don't just care about getting on there and talking about he's spinning on his ops. He giving you 30 out the Glock. You know what I mean? So, Busy Banks, you definitely need to check him out. Along with Kai Structure.
The intern Chris told me that.
Right, that 30.
He's affiliated with people, but he's EBK, everybody's K. So like he's not like Crip or GD. Everybody can get it.
Right, he's out of the star. So when it started, I don't want to go too into detail, folks, but they don't really have the opposition that the neighborhoods that other rappers have come through.
It's getting ugly in the floors.
Yeah, so hopefully he won't run into the same issues that a lot of the young New York rappers run into, because he doesn't have the same enemies, he doesn't have the same problems. So hopefully that works out for Busy Banks. I'm a fan of Busy Banks. He's,
keep your eye, Sin. I'm telling you, I know you don't listen to it, but keep your eye on Busy Banks.
Busy Banks?
I think you'll come around to him.
Sin would like Biz for sure.
At this point, I feel like you need the bars to enjoy the vibiness too.
Yeah,
He has it.
So
He
I
has
feel like
it.
he would help you.
He's witty.
He would
He's
do that for you.
he's classic New
He's
York
giving
rapper.
you the drill flow, but what he's talking about is vivid
real
enough
shit.
for you to fuck with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Switching gears from young rap, now we're gonna go back in time about 20 years.
Ooh.
Oh man,
A great time in hip hop.
beautiful.
What happened back then, Joe?
Arguably one of the greatest times in hip hop. Well, not even arguably, it is.
Back when you had to buy CDs, y'all.
The Blueprint.
Hey, don't scratch him up.
20 years since the
20
release
years,
of an
crazy.
album.
20 years.
And a moment that you could say changed history.
Yes.
History.
It's Sin and I have been arguing about a project and a rap beef that surrounded this project since we met.
Yeah.
That tells you how much this project resonates. The Blueprint one, usually I don't bat lead off here, but I'm a bat lead off because it's whole.
It's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
We need you to wax and wane
Yeah.
on
I'm a
this.
wax.
Get on your Dame Lillard, point guard.
I'm a wax poetic right now. Let me pull this
It's
out.
job time.
You know what I'm saying? From the time The Rule Is Back comes on, you know what? In the moment, I think 2001. I might have been 17. My ears weren't even like prepared for what I was hearing. But when I went back and I became an adult and I would go back and I would listen, I would run the albums back to back to back. I always listened for when Jay was in his bag. And you knew, like the flow was a little bit different. The ad-libs were different. When Ho was giving me that little laugh in the ad-libs,
Oh man,
you knew.
so arrogant.
You know what I'm saying? The
Loved
Rule
it.
Is Back. The horns on that shit. The way this nigga was talking, I'm like, this isn't sounding like anything I heard previously. I think what made the Blueprint to this day stand out more than any other Jay-Z album is the fact that there's no other Hov album you can compare it to. It doesn't sound like anything he did before or after. You know what I'm saying?
It's like he came in on chariots.
And the lore being that he recorded it in a weekend. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
But if he recorded this shit in a weekend, what kind of powers Jay-Z had? You know what I'm saying?
Those Tupac
Jay-Z,
powers.
man.
No.
He said, we're not doing it right now.
No. You're not gonna make this
We're not
happen.
doing that.
Where's the boo
Nah,
sound?
you trying to divert us.
Is that
We're short
tomato?
on time, man. And you trying to divert us.
I tried. I didn't think y'all was listening.
You know what I'm saying?
Forgot it.
So you look at The Rule Is Back, and you didn't know what you were getting. You knew that this dude was rapping a certain type of way. It didn't sound like Volume 3. It didn't sound like Reasonable, being that it's most recent from the most furthest. But to set that tone, there was a chip on Jay-Z's shoulders with that project. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I got old enough to understand what was going on, even more so, James was on some bullshit with this project. And then you lead right into the takeover.
Oh man.
Fam.
Yeah.
Breaks over.
Man. Jay-Z, and the thing that we never talk about with this rap beef, and I think I always mention it to Sin on the show, to conversationally, the man felt so underappreciated by New York City that he made an album because he was in his bag about niggas wanting to get him out of here. The whole idea of the Blueprint is, I'm the hottest nigga in the city, and y'all don't want me here.
But y'all can't get me out.
But you can't get me out. Y'all waiting on Nas, and I'm right here.
He was doing too
Summer
much shit
after
with,
summer after summer.
He was doing too much shit in the South, doing too much shit,
He was too hot.
Yeah.
People don't talk about that. Now it's Hov, and he's the GOAT, depending on who
Big
you speak
pimpin'.
to. The internet hates Jay-Z, but there's people who love Hov like myself. But I'm like, this man felt underappreciated. That is the one aspect of the Blueprint that's never talked about, is the fact that Jay felt. Let's talk about it real quick. Heart of the City, Never Change, Song Cry. He's laying it on the line. To me, I always tell the story. When I heard those tracks back to back to back, that's when I knew, I'm like, this is something else. This is not your typical Jay-Z album. This man is giving you something. He's giving you a piece of himself. And because of the beef, we always talk about Takeover, but we don't get his album his due. This nigga really laid it on the line. He wanted the belt.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas want me out of here. I told you who I was in 96 and y'all still mad? What the fuck? But I won't ramble because I can ramble about Jay-Z forever. Sincere, talk to me, bro. As the producer of the table, talk to me about what this album meant to you, what it felt like when you heard it the first time. Let's go.
So, few things. And I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because we're a little short on time. But the importance of this album, like going into it, right? So, we all know the day that it came out. We all know
September
September 11th. We all know what happened on that day, 2001, right? All hell broke loose, right? But what we probably don't know, or you guys out there probably don't know, is that my son was born the day before.
Wow.
September 10th,
Shout.
2001.
Your life changed in major ways.
So
That's
those
dope.
2 days back to back is crazy, right? So let me tell you what happened, right? My son is born September 10th, right? New York Hospital. So he's a day old when September 11th hits, right? It's like 8 something in the morning. I'm at work, and you know, like the news hits, and like everybody's like, "Yo, we don't know what's going on, but we shutting everything down. We got to go home, right? Everybody got to go home. All the mass transit is shut down, right?" And I'm like,
people
damn,
walking the bridge to get home.
yo, and I'm
2-3 hour walk,
bro,
y'all, 4 hour walk.
I'm thinking, my 1 day old son is in New York Hospital. How the fuck am I gonna get over there? I have to walk. But before I take the trek from, what was it, like 100th Street all the way to New York Hospital on the east side, 60-some Street, I was about a 5-minute walk away from Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Oh, wow.
On 96th Street and Broadway.
Priorities.
Taking y'all back. I was like,
Were the dinosaurs there too?
is it? And I'm like, yo, is the 5 to 10 minutes that it takes me to go to Nobody Beats the Wiz and cop this album, is that really gonna make a huge difference right now?
No.
No. I went to
you
Nobody
need it
Beats
for
the
the
Wiz.
walk.
I needed that album,
My
bro.
fatherly instincts will kick in after I get this out.
Yeah.
Sis,
Right.
did you have to diss man?
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, this man
Absolutely.
was clutch.
Absolutely.
Clutch.
So now, right, and this is as a Nas fan, and this is the second part of my little story here. As a Nas fan coming into that album, right, Nas had dropped I Am and then Nostradamus
Unfortunately.
Sadly.
in 99,
Got some cuts.
right? And then we didn't hear from him, right? I was saying earlier, like, you know, Nas did his little disappearance stuff back in the day. And then here's Jay-Z with Rock La Familia the year before, and then all of a sudden the Blueprint drops, and then I
prequel to the
hear it,
Blueprint.
right? And then I hear it, and I'm like, oh, shit. But like besides Takeover, I'm listening to this album, and I'm like, oh,
beautiful.
shit, it's a wrap for Nas. Like, as a Nas fan, coming off of Nostradamus and then going into the Blueprint, I'm like, yo, it's a wrap.
Can I say something real quick?
What's up?
Shout out to Guru. Because Guru made Jay-Z sound so godly.
Oh, yes.
Vocals. I always say Jay, in that time, it felt like Jay was on a podium rapping down to the rest of the rap world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Super engineer.
He was on a pedestal that you couldn't match. And when you go back, you listen to like an Ola Obito, You Don't Know. It just felt like Jay was just like above everything. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Sam.
So then, besides, I mean, you know, Hov was in his bag. Now we can argue that lyrically, he wasn't what he was on, like, you know, Reasonable Doubt in Volume 1, as he admits himself. He dumped it down a little bit, right? But not all the way to where it's like, you know, you're thinking, oh, this dude can't rap anymore. Like, he was talking this shit. He
Right, it
in
was just digestible.
Right. It was in a certain pocket. He knew how to deliver it so that people can, like, more people can digest it, not just the super rap fans. But let's talk about the production. Kanye West,
Early
Just
Kanye.
Blaze, Bink. Shout out to Bink.
Some
He
of
don't
Bink's best
he don't get the love he
guys.
deserves.
he does not get the respect and love that he deserves. Timbaland. And people be hating on the Timbaland beat. Olo Ovito. People be hating. I'm like, yo, I
It
love that
fit
song.
Beautifully
Yo!
in with the aesthetic.
Whole
I don't-
rode the beat
I
crazy.
don't understand how
that fit
people hate
perfect.
on that song. That
It
shit
wasn't
was
the
so
most
fire.
intricate Timbo beat, but he fit
Yeah.
what was going on with the album.
And I, you know, the lore of, you know, what they say that it was recorded in a weekend or a week.
I think it was a weekend. They said it was 3
weekend.
days.
I think I heard like it
I
was
think
like a week.
vocals 3 days. I think the whole album 7 days, like including
Right.
engineering.
I think the end to end it was probably like a week, but I believe it, and I believe it for this reason. You know, these people were unknown at the time. Kanye West, Just Blaze, and Bink, but we see what came out of them after the Blueprint. So you think to
Ghost.
yourself as Hov to pick these producers and see, you saw the vision, you saw the talent, the raw talent that was there, and he was like, nah, I'm gonna get these guys in the studio and I'm gonna get them to produce my album. I'm gonna also get Timbaland, right? Yeah, I believe it. I think it was lightning in the bottle. I think that it was just like the perfect storm of, you know, an incredibly gifted MC with incredibly gifted producers and an incredibly talented and gifted engineer and guru. It was just a perfect team up, man.
Perfect storm.
Perfect storm.
Danny, talk to me.
I remember the day like it was yesterday. I cut school. I turned on the TV to watch BET videos, as any kid who was 16 years old at the time would have done. There was no videos. It was just the news.
Yeah.
I changed the channel. It was just the news. I changed the channel. It was just the news. 9/11 occurred. And when I left the house, I still got that Jay-Z album.
Exactly.
R.I.P. to everyone who died that day. But I needed that whole album. And I was not disappointed. It was amazing. I didn't know at the time what the beef with Nas was when I heard the album, but I was just like, what the hell did Nas do? Nas hasn't been around for a while. I didn't really understand the Prodigy beef either.
That's a t-shirt. What did Nas do?
What happened? Like, my two favorite guys going at each other.
Yeah, but if you kept the ear to the, you know,
but I listened.
The bubbling beef.
There you go. I listened to the album today for the first time in quite a while.
Shame on you.
And I know. Damn, but so like it's microwave era, just so much music pumping in. That shit took me back to that day, bro. I felt like that 16-year-old kid in bed cutting school again, bro, for a few minutes.
It's an incredible album. Yeah.
Immaculate.
It makes you a little bit younger than us, but you still understand.
Right.
Blueprint one.
So let me give you my Blueprint story. I was 12 years old when the Blueprint dropped. You know, and us 12-year-old junior high schoolers, we were much more concerned about Fabulous. Can't Deny It, Keeping It Gangsta, Clue Tapes. That's who we were focused on in that era. You know what I mean? So I can't say 9/11 I went to cop the album, but I will tell you this. My mother had the Blueprint. My mother was blasting the Blueprint when I came home. Yes, my mother.
Shout out to Mom, too.
I used to visit my dad on the weekends. I went to my dad's house on the weekend. He was blasting the Blueprint. So I used to, you know, I wasn't, you know, it took me maybe a couple years to really grasp how great this album was as my taste and my knowledge developed as, you know, a youngin'. So, you know, this is the perfect album. I always try to be one of those hipsters and say Reasonable Doubt is my favorite Jay-Z album.
Don't make you a hipster. That's my favorite album. I'm not a hipster. Yeah, it is what it is.
But the Blueprint is the perfect album. You know, Sin touched on the producers. He don't want to talk about how that's Eminem's best beat ever. But, you know what I mean? We got it.
No, it is, though.
But the Eminem praise, you know.
Did he get him on his own? We won't talk about that.
Wow, bro.
But the
That's
Blueprint,
crazy, bro.
It's the perfect album. You know, 1 through 13, including the hidden tracks. If you keep listening on them CDs, you know what I mean. The
Lyrical
Blueprint
exercise.
Mama Love Me.
Come on.
Filthy.
Come on now.
Filthy,
The Blueprint is the quintessential Jay-Z album. Perfect production. Maybe not the most complex lyrics, but perfect lyricism for that album. Hov lets you know you listen to that album, you don't want to listen to anything after. You know what I mean? You don't nothing is really comparable. The sound, the swag that Jay-Z got on there. When you think about the era, you know what I mean? The beefs that he was going on in New York, when you even are more knowledgeable about what was going on in Jay-Z's life at the time. Right.
Immaculate slick talk.
Blueprint is the perfect Jay-Z album. It's one of those albums where not even perfect Jay-Z, just one of the perfect albums, period. You know, some days I walk around, I listen to You Don't Know, and I feel like that's the perfect song. You know what I mean? And then Ain't No Love come, you know, Ain't Love. Oh, come on now, you know what I mean? This is Jay was in the point where he was on top of the game when this album came out, but he was still in that life after death shadow. He was still in that Illmatic shadow. And with the Blueprint, he delivered in such a way, even going through it with other New York rappers, that this is the album that, in my mind, and you know I'm a little younger, maybe I didn't know, but this album is the one that solidified him as an absolute legend in New York City. You know what I mean? So, you know, unlike Deanie, I listen to the Blueprint at least once a month.
Oh shit.
So absolutely,
You have to, bro.
come on now, but
for me,
I,
man.
you know, 20 years for the Blueprint.
You're the
Shouts to
fakest whole
man.
fan I know. Remember I said it on this pod.
Yeah, shots fired. We in feel good vibes, bro.
Beautiful vibes.
I gotta stay in character.
Nah, I have my critiques, but keep going.
But nah, I'm just saying that this is, you know, there's not much. You gentlemen laid it out perfectly. There's not much else to say, but this is one of the best albums, not just in hip hop, but in music history.
Here's
you know
where
what I
I'll
mean?
jump in. Personally, I guess for nostalgic purposes or maybe musical, I don't know. I always take Reasonable over Blueprint because of how Reasonable makes me feel, even to this day when I listen to it. But I think the tie that binds Reasonable, Blueprint, and even 444 that I don't like is the fact that those are the 3 albums where Jay-Z is telling you where he's at in his world at that moment. I mentioned it earlier in the segment that I felt like Jay had a chip on the shoulder with that project. I felt like he looked around the landscape and he heard the whispers that people felt they were nicer than Jay, better than Jay. If Nas was out, he'd be the guy. And I think that he took all of that to heart. Remember, there was a whole D-Block Rockefeller problems at that time. There was
There was a lot going on in New York at the
issues
time.
in New York City. He saw what DMX did previously, 98, 99, 2000. And you have a song like Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. Because he's looking at it like, yo, bro, I've been here since 96, 97. And
Every year.
Each year he gave you a hit. He might not have moved the units until 98, but he's been giving you this shit, and you guys are rejecting me. You know what I'm saying? You're waiting for this guy who dropped the album in 93, 94, who I feel I'm better than. You know what I'm saying? Then we get the Takeover record. And Sid and I have argued about this to this day. And there's a lot of Nas, I'm gonna look at the camera, a lot of Nas fans feel how they feel. However, the Takeover is the best song in that whole saga. I'll take Takeover over Ether, Last Real Nigga Alive, the Stillmatic Freestyle, whatever other sub you want to bring up right now.
Last Real Nigga Alive.
That's a hard record,
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
But see, for Last Real Nigga Alive, I could give you Blueprint 2. You know what I'm saying?
Blueprint 2 was not good.
I hear the people talking.
You mean the album or the songs, then?
The song.
Oh, come on.
The song was good.
I hear the
song. He
people
sounded
talking.
hurt. He sounded hurt on the song.
That little homie
But we
had
had
my little homie
garden
ass
area.
for that.
Don't
though?
you know?
Come on.
Like people act like the beef stopped with Ether. These guys traded bars. But in my opinion,
The 2 goats.
you Nas fans, y'all can kiss my ass. Because you're gonna jump me in the comments anyway. The Takeover is the best song in that whole saga. He cooked them up. If there's no Takeover, here's what I'll say. Here's my hot take.
Let's
before I
start the
pass
beef.
ball.
Here we go.
If there's no Takeover, you fucking Nas fans, there's no Nas today. There's no King's Disease 1. There's no King's Disease 2. There's no Stillmatic. There's nothing.
my God, get him.
There's
Get
no
him.
Godson.
Javi,
There's
y'all
no
gonna have
Lost
to get him.
Tapes.
That was
The
the
Nas fans
reinvigoration.
are gonna kill
I
him.
got
in these
time.
That was the
comments.
reinvigoration.
Without Jay-Z in 2001, there is no Nas today.
We don't have time for me to get him, so y'all gonna have to go get him. And he did that on purpose.
Nigga creeping.
Because he knows we gotta get out of here.
I am prepared for you Nas fans. I am prepared.
Can't get into it.
Stillmatic, the
with
album
him.
was not good. Godson,
Oh, that's
better
come
than
on,
Stillmatic.
John. Not good.
Not
Godson-
Stillmatic was a classic, bro.
Better than Stillmatic.
Godson's a classic too.
Godson, better than
Somebody
Stillmatic
check the
benefited
alcohol percentage
from
on this
the beef.
Casamigos.
Oh my
But song
God.
for
It
song,
did.
Yo.
song for song.
Let's
It's not
take
fuck-
let's take
It's the
Migos
cup is
away.
empty, nigga.
He waited.
Yeah,
He
I
waited so
see that.
long.
I see that. You drank too much.
Stillmatic's not.
You
Godson's not better than
you
Stillmatic.
got way too drunk, bro.
Godson's not better than Stillmatic.
Stillmatic it's a classic though.
It's not.
Stillmatic
No,
not a
it's
classic.
not. No, it's not.
Job.
You want it?
Yeah. You know what? This is what I
Yo,
hate about y'all.
Stillmatic
niggas.
is a
We
classic,
sit down
man.
here, we
Come
talk
on.
about
Thank
it,
you,
and these
Mace.
niggas here bring up the lost tapes before they bring up Godson or Stillmatic. Don't let them gas you. I'm gonna blow it up. They love the lost tapes. They don't love Stillmatic, my nigga.
I love Stillmatic.
Because Lost Tapes is
Lost Tapes is fire too.
Stillmatic is that. If he didn't have that A. Marie joint on
You
there.
niggas are liars.
Y'all ain't trying to hear us,
We've
man.
had so many conversations. And y'all never bring up. You know
Bro,
what's
the last
funny?
episode,
Oh,
the
no.
last
Time out.
episode,
See,
when
no,
you
y'all-
said this is his third prime.
I can talk. I
His
can be a
second
Jay-Z.
prime
I can be a
was
Jay-Z fan.
Illmatic.
And still
Illmatic.
not love.
Hold up. His second prime, we said, was still. Actually, I said
Stillmatic, Godson
Stillmatic to
era.
Godson to Lost Tapes. That's what I
But
said.
this is my problem with y'all. When we casually have conversations about Nas, none of y'all niggas bring up Stillmatic. Y'all go straight to Lost Tapes.
Bro,
That's lies.
Why is
That's
that?
a lie.
With the
Lost
That's a
Tapes
lie?
With the exception of Nostradamus,
We go straight
throw
to
every
Lost
Nas
Tapes
album
then.
out there, bro.
Lost
Straight
Tapes is
to Lost Tapes?
Nostradamus Lucy's though.
Yes.
With the exception of Nostradamus, we throw every Nas album out there. He's always throwing Illmatic. I'm always throwing It Was Written. Somebody's always.
But y'all never talk about Stillmatic. Y'all never talk about Godson. Y'all only
Listen.
talk about the
Listen,
laws.
we got-
Diddy,
Aight.
Diddy,
We
you
got-
better not tonight.
we
We
got-
got too many conversations.
all right. Hold up.
You better
fill out
not
the
do
receipts,
it.
dude.
I love those albums.
Because we
though.
gotta wrap it up.
What is the album? What is
but,
that? Since I'm talking about, we gotta wrap it up.
But-
You keep talking about the Lost Tapes. We've had countless conversations. Stop lying for the audience. Tell the truth.
Lost Tapes 1 or Lost Tapes 2?
The OG Lost Tapes, nigga.
Beautiful
One.
album.
But when we have conversations, do you bring up Stillmatic? What's the
Yes.
first album we
Of
always
course
talk
we do.
After the beat.
Especially when
What is
Takeover
the album we talk
conversation.
about the most?
Job, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Stillmatic was my introduction to Nas. I was
Okay.
12 when that dropped. Yeah,
I hate y'all
Stillmatic
niggas-
is what
y'all
made me
wanna be
realize.
like a
I don't know
Y'all
where
niggas
Drive is getting this
Y'all
from.
niggas want to be y'all want me to get
You
private
talk-
comments.
matter of fact, I know you talk about Stillmatic all the
All
time,
the time,
bro.
Not to me.
I love that
Whenever you
album.
talk about
People,
Takeover,
look at y'all niggas lying. When we be here, they talk about the Lost Tapes over and over
if we-
and
I
over
if we
again.
wanna
know we
talk-
talk
if we
about
wanna
the
talk
Lost
about
Tapes that
lying,
much.
Y'all
if we-
niggas, I'm fam.
if we wanna
we don't
talk-
talk about Stillmatic on the show.
If we wanna talk-
we've done
we
32
talk about
episodes.
It Was Written 9 out of 10 times.
Bro.
Illmatic.
The Lost Tapes have been brought up more than
Stillmatic
it was
is
written on this
crazy.
podcast.
If we want to
my
talk
nigga.
about
Y'all
lying,
niggas is lying.
we
Let
wanna
him
talk
slave
about-
heart of a king, brother.
If we
You
wanna talk
crazy.
about
Oh,
lying,
you out of your
Turn the
mind.
Pilgrim killed
if we
him.
want to talk about lying, let's talk about all of these lines from the Takeover that I highlighted that
Yo,
were
like-
just lies, pure lies.
What that mean?
Takeover was
I
Takeover
put
was
the Iverson jersey, Job.
Listen,
I put the Iverson jersey,
listen.
man.
We got
This
we
is
got
the
What
one
the fuck are
thing-
you talking about?
One day we're gonna have to talk
The
about
fuck are you talking about?
how the Takeover was heralded as this diss
Wait a
record that was
second.
full of nothing but facts. I don't know how that ended up happening. Like I'm going through this whole shit, highlighting mad lines that was not facts at all.
Point it out. Point it out. You got the list,
I was
nigga.
Let's
yo,
do it.
listen,
Schmizzed.
one hot album every 10-year average.
Yeah.
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 No
What's
way,
your favorite?
Job.
What's your favorite Nas album?
I got
What's your favorite Nas album?
So it's 2 albums every day.
Okay, all right. That's
Wow, bro,
I can
that's
keep going,
crazy.
bro. I can keep going. All right.
He did show Nas his first
It
tech on
was
the dresser,
written.
though.
Nah, it was written.
He
of
did.
Nostradamus and I Am
Large
Trash.
Pro
Yeah,
confirmed
only
that.
not. Put it this way, in hip hop, those 2
I Am
albums
wasn't
are not regarded.
When-
Nas fans regard those albums.
When listening to Blueprint today, that Nas Tabo whole line hit me a little harder today.
Because you're the fakest Jay-Z fan alive.
No. It's because he said, remember he said, I got a girl that teach me Tabo in the record in Girls. It just hit.
Nah, if you remember, this is.
He said, I got a
we aged
bad hoe
ourselves.
that teach me Tabo or something like that.
There was a True Life. Remember MTV True Life?
Yeah.
There was a True Life episode around that year where Jay-Z was doing karate Tabo shit, and that's where Nas got the line from. You gotta be old enough to know
Hilarious.
that. But that's where I remembered it
He
from.
said dick sucking lips and all this and
Yeah,
that.
it was hectic.
He-
It
that was
hectic.
vulgar.
Foxy got you. How could you kept your face in a puss?
All Nas did, and I'll
hand,
give
go
Nas
hand.
credit, is the fact that he said things about Jay-Z that we heard in barbershops or in casual conversation, and he put it in bars.
Yep.
Which goes back to the overarching point of this segment. Jay felt disrespected by the city who would rather wait for a nigga who was sitting by his window not rapping the shit he wasn't living than a nigga who was actually outside putting on for the city. You Nas fans can kiss my ass.
Word
I've
is-
been waiting to say it for months. But in 2001,
Shaw just laid the garden.
Who just said
in
Nas
two-
was living that
hold on,
life the other day?
Pardon me. In 2001, the nigga who was outside was Jay-Z. and y'all fronted on it because y'all wanted to live through the nigga who was sitting by his window creating his life. It's okay. It's okay.
Just say Nas
It's okay. Nah, because you know
this wild story. This wild story
has
is
been getting on my case for months.
Keeping it super gangster, but y'all just gonna disregard that
holding
shit.
it down.
You crazy.
Where's that?
You didn't hear this shit with Envy the other day when he tried to give Nas a tape. He said Nas pulled the swammy on him.
Where's that? I didn't hear that. Nah.
Envy said, yo, come on.
Envy? Now we listening to DJ Envy?
Yo.
Envy?
A pulled out the hammer
That's
story?
what you vouching about?
John said why Nas was watching Ill Will and he wasn't standing with him.
Oh,
wow. Wow.
Envy Lil Clue?
Wow, bro.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You Nas fans, this is shit I hate about you fucking Nas fans.
Yo.
Y'all hold on to every nugget of shit. No matter how valid it
Talk
might
your
not
shit,
be,
Job.
and y'all niggas swear by it, but y'all be in my comments talking about Jay-Z. Jay-Z's everything y'all wish Nas was. I said it. Jay-Z is everything y'all wish Nas was.
Man.
And I'm proud to say it. All
I'm happy to be on this
kiss
episode.
my ass. Get the fuck out of here.
If Hov put out
Nas
two
ain't making an album
back-to-back classics,
outside of maybe
I
Illmatic.
can't knock
There's
it.
no Nas album that can touch Blueprint. I said it.
There's no blueprint
Nas
without
still putting out
Illmatic.
classics though, Jov.
There's
To
no,
you.
There's no
You don't
blueprint
think
without Illmatic.
King's Disease one was a classic?
I'm
There's
talking
no-
about King's Disease.
no.
You
There's
talking
no
about
blueprint without
2001.
Illmatic.
And you talking about 2020,
But he's
fam.
still
I'ma say it
doing
again
it.
so
Why
somebody
you
hears
reaching?
it.
Why you
King's
reaching?
Disease
He's
one
still
was
doing
not
it.
a
There's no blueprint
I
without
said it on the
Illmatic.
last
2 was better.
episode.
Huh?
King's Disease 2 was better.
I said it on the last. I said it on the
So how
last.
King's
man,
I'm
Disease
when
gonna keep
I
saying
said
it. There's no
curved me
blueprint
last
without
time,
Illmatic.
they didn't.
Somebody
They
hears
didn't.
it. I've said it like 5 times. There's no blueprint without Illmatic.
Nonsense.
Let's go.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
Well,
But-
Sin, is
but-
Illmatic the greatest record to you? Because there's no Illmatic without Paid in Full. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine, but that's not the
happens.
conversation.
That
You know what it is? The real root of my problems is the fact that there's Nas fans that really go so hard for Nas, and I respect loving your favorite rapper. But you can't act like Jay ain't put on for the city when Nas was nowhere to be found, son.
Mom was dying.
You know what I'm saying?
His mom wasn't
Why
dying
you
for
always
7
wearing
years.
this fucking
man.
cape? His
mom was dying. You talking about the 90s when he
So
ain't
we
respond
talking
to
about
Hov?
music. His mom was dying. You always got this cape off for the
Man, I keep it a buck, bro. If that's what happened, that's
so
what
fuck
happened.
what Jay-Z did because Nas mom.
Jay-Z was cooking, nigga. Nobody's
You
taking
are
away
not a
nothing from
Jay-Z fan. Tell the truth.
Bro, I love what
You love
Jay-Z does.
swearing. You love swearing by Jay. I'm a Jay-Z. You fuck out of here.
I love what
anyway,
Jay does.
You know, we gotta leave because I'm gonna get really upset with Diddy.
Get upset,
I'm gonna
nigga.
get really upset because Diddy's a fraud. You're not a Jay-Z
how
fan.
am I a fraud?
You're not, bro.
How am I not a
You
Jay-Z
like his
fan?
music, but you're not a fan. Because
What does that mean,
Nigga, we've been
bro?
doing this podcast for 2 years. What the fuck you mean it means?
does that mean?
What do you mean what it means?
What does
we
that
recorded
mean?
this show for 2 years, and you've had nothing but negative shit to say.
My nigga,
you're
do I not give Jay's
No,
respect?
you don't. You're a Nas fan that likes Jay-Z music on occasion. Get the fuck out of here. You're not a
That
Jay-Z
sound like
fan.
Sin, though.
No. Sin,
Jay, you don't like
Sin
no-
is a Nas
Sin don't like
fan
no Jay?
that fucks with Hov's Prime, but if he had gun to his head, he's taking Nas. And he said it on a countless occasions. You be trying to fucking play hopscotch, say, oh, I like both of them. No, you don't.
No,
you
bro.
love Jay, you
No.
love Nas, you like Jay-Z.
I love Hov.
The Lord.
I love Hov.
The Lord.
Yo, I'm gonna make it. I'm
we
gonna
gotta
make it
get
quick.
out of here, but can
I'm
you
gonna make
please?
it quick. I'm gonna make it quick.
Hey,
Yes. This launch segment goes out to JT. Is her name from City Girls? I don't
Yes.
know. I don't listen to
man.
City Girls. I don't give a fuck about no City Girls.
Oh, man.
What
and
the
for good reason.
fuck?
Whoa.
For good reason. I mean, no, listen, nothing
He's supposed
controversial.
to
It's
listen-
just
he gotta
I'm
listen to
supposed
City
like.
Girls?
I'm supposed to like City Girls.
Nah, but all the empowerment. I'm surprised you're just shucking them off like that.
son.
Just because you
is it
can
women?
empower women don't mean you gotta listen to their music.
What? Anyway,
What team you on?
I'm just saying, bro, I get cooked for this shit every day. You don't be complaining about
nah,
it.
He didn't say
no,
nothing
man.
about them as people. He
Nigga said, I don't listen to her music.
Time out,
You don't listen to none of
So
her music?
He's supposed to listen to their music?
Did I say he has to listen to music?
You just questioned the
I'm
nigga.
just shocked he don't listen to her music.
But what is the point of questioning them if you? Why are you shocked?
The
big up
the
female
shit that I
rappers,
did-
nigga,
the
not
shit
listening
that-
to
so
female
what I
rappers.
just said-
But he don't have to listen to every
What I
artist.
just said and the shit that you be saying are in two different rounds,
Bro,
Let's just keep it above.
Proceed, bro.
Anyway, we gotta wrap it up. Anyway, JT, let me
Perplexed.
pull it up. Let me pull it up right now. JT was quoted.
Mentioning
Was he
Biggie.
quoted or was
She
it a tweet?
tweeted a question.
She tweeted a question. Here it is. So she tweeted this question: how did Biggie know the World Trade was gonna blow up?
Oh no.
So it ties into what we were talking about earlier.
You can't make this shit up.
And I'm just like, yo, listen, if you young and you wasn't there, just do your Googles. Google is free. Look it up before you go out there asking dumbass questions or making dumbass tweets.
JT is 28.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
JT is 28,
bro. That's crazy.
There was a bombing incident in 1993 at the World Trade Center, and the fact that she doesn't know that is just I mean, it may not be common knowledge because like everybody thinks about like September 11th. But anyway, do your Googles because Google's free. Before you go out there asking questions on Twitter, you know, just especially things that were before your time, because obviously you're not gonna know, right? Google is free, Wikipedia is free. Look shit up. Get off my lawn with the dumbass questions.
Let me get this drop. Listen, if you don't know how to use Google at age 28 and you'd rather run the Twitter before you run the Google, please get off. Get off Sin's lawn.
Get off
Deanie, you've upset me tonight with your faux whole
He
fandom.
had it tonight, man.
It's not.
You're not a Jay-Z fan.
I take my nigga. I am a Jay-Z fan. I don't have to prove it to you, my nigga.
I ain't asked you to prove it to me. But again,
if I'm telling you I am, you telling me I'm not, then
but
what the fuck are we arguing about?
I'm not telling you you're not. I'm going based on the 32 episodes we've done and the recorded things you've said that have allowed me to deduce that you are not the Jay-Z fan you say you are.
So I can't be critical of a.
See, here's the thing. It's not about critiquing. It's the fact that 32 episodes.
Okay.
Magic
I can count on one hand the amount of good things you said about Jay-Z.
That's bullshit. Bullshit.
It's not.
I love Lauryn Hill's music. I still be trashing her, don't I?
Get the fuck out of here, Didi.
I don't?
Get out of here.
I don't like Lauryn Hill's music.
You don't
Why did you bring that up?
You're the only nigga
on the Roundtable anywhere.
That's my Achilles heel.
You're the only nigga who acts like this show is not recorded.
What are you talking about?
It's documented, bro.
I don't give Hov his props.
You think we just pull shit out of the sky and say it to you?
I don't give Hov his props.
Your words dictate what I'm saying.
I don't give Hov his props.
Where's that?
We gonna need a Deanie Hov conversation.
We're gonna need to pull up the highlights.
We just did a blueprint segment.
Okay.
What good did he say about it? We just did a whole segment. What did you say that was good?
I didn't say the album was immaculate.
What did you say was good?
This is
the fact that we have to ask the question dictates energy, bro.
Run it back, Dean.
Just rewind
the tape, bro. Act surprised about what you say.
I had a lot of good shit to say about the album just now, bro.
Just like last episode when he said he heard what we said on the Versus recap, then he had to double it back. He had to walk it back when we linked up. I don't even remember what you said.
I gave you your respect on that, my G.
Off the air, but on wax you.
On wax, I gave you respect.
No, you didn't.
On the
Dean, who's better, Hov or Nas?
Yeah, we recorded shit, but I gave you respect for that.
Respect. You said that you gave me my respect, and I responded by saying no, you didn't. And then off air in the group chat, you gave me my credit.
Bro,
not on wax.
I didn't say it on the air. I said it on the air.
Yo, Sin, this what you be dealing with, bro?
But the evidence said otherwise.
You do that a lot, bro. You say I said something and I didn't say it.
Beanie, you said it in the group chat
just like
that you didn't remember. I'm banging the table because you said that in the group chat.
When we'll watch the episode again, you'll hear the good things I said about Hov, bro. And a blueprint album.
In the end, your energy does not support the 3 words you might say that are good.
Bro, if I can't give my positives and my negatives.
The fact
bro?
is that your critiques, if your critiques or your negative speech outweigh the positive, how can I call you a fan? 32 episodes.
I don't have no positive critiques to hold.
If your critique outweighs your positive,
that's crazy, bro.
If the negative,
let
me ask you a question. You run into Mace because you're not trying to hate what niggas
I'm
are
a fan.
Mace is talking to me, my nigga.
If the negative shit you say over 32 episodes outweigh your positive, how can I call you a fan?
Bro, if I have to go back and recap,
you're not answering the question. If you're negative,
I'm telling you, you're wrong. I don't do that about Hov, bro.
You're full of shit. It's recorded.
So then we have no problem going back and finding
you. Can go back.
I will
go back. Just like you did in the group chat. You'll come back in the group chat and apologize.
I will come back. I'll come back.
I love the Roundtable.
I'm gonna need you to. I'm
that type of nigga. I don't get people that acknowledge me.
I'll make a Dean compilation from the YouTube.
Spotlight yourself next episode. You know I was bugging.
I would.
I hope so.
Have I ever not?
I don't know.
I don't be.
wax.
I don't give respect when it's due.
That's not what we talking about.
I'm asking.
That's not what we talking about. We're not talking about giving respect. We're talking about the fact that you claim to be a Jay-Z fan.
If I was wrong, I would acknowledge I was wrong. Wouldn't I not?
You claim you're a Jay-Z fan. The recorded episodes say otherwise.
Okay.
You can listen to all
like I said,
32
I
episodes.
will run back
and you can come on this podcast
and some clips
and say, you know what, y'all?
of me bigging up Hov.
No, don't find clips, because I can find endless clips of you questioning Jay-Z.
As you could.
So, again,
I'm critical of the people I fuck with.
Because I actually pay attention to this pod.
As you should.
32 episodes.
As you
I've
should.
deduced the solution that you're not the Jay-Z fan. You've said, and I've been saying this since episode, 24?
Bro, you've been saying it for how long you've been saying it,
So
bro?
where does that come from?
And I'll keep telling you you're wrong.
Where does it come
You know
from?
what I'm saying?
Your words. I don't make shit up.
Bro,
I listen to niggas when they talk.
You can feel how you feel.
Just like you
about
said,
how,
I said this, but then the evidence said this, and then you came in a group chat and said, I was tripping. You said that.
Bro, when we was on the show, and did I not give you acknowledgement for that though?
No.
I didn't give you acknowledgement for that?
No, you did it in a group chat.
Copy.
I thought I was going to be the one.
Dean,
arguing with
Hov and
Charles
Nas, Dean.
on this
Hov and
episode.
Nas.
Bro, I love both niggas.
I don't want to hear that, Dean.
See?
I've been.
I love both
You
niggas.
say mad
on the
negative
show-
shit
I've
and then
been
say I
on the
love
show
both
with
niggas.
you, but
They're my
I've been
two
watching.
favorite
I'm a
MCs,
fan,
bro.
I'm a fan.
They're
Dean.
my favorite
Let
MCs.
me know
Y'all
as a
niggas asked me to
fan.
pick between my two favorite MCs. You know what I'm saying? I think Jay-Z is the greatest rapper to touch a mic.
They're not
and I think
kids,
Nas
bro.
is
You
the
can
greatest
pick one.
lyricist to touch a mic. You
He's
said
a
what?
Nas.
They're not kids.
He's
You
a
can pick
Nas
one.
fan that likes Jay-Z. The record and the recorded podcast.
I'm a
say
Nas
that.
fan that likes Jay-Z.
Sin is Nas. Jarvis Hov.
Deanie's Nas.
Cool, bro.
Deanie's
He
Nas.
can be wherever he want to be, bro. Like I said, if I was on a,
You can say whatever you want to say. The
record.
recorded episodes say you're a Nas fan. I'm not saying it. I listen.
I am a Nas
think-
fan. I'm a whole fan too.
You love Nas more than you love Hov.
So what does that mean, bro? If I listen to all albums, I
Take
fuck
us
with niggas
home,
hard.
son. You talking in circles.
Dean standing on his square. You ain't getting no answer, John.
Because he's a
ain't getting no
waffler.
answer.
He's
He's standing on his square right now.
On both sides, but
He
he don't
said
want
both
to pick
and he
a side.
mean both.
But his words that we record
My
on the
two favorite
podcast,
MCs, nigga.
It's the
Hov
Nas.
and Jordan's my two favorite players.
Nas is your favorite MC, fam. It's okay. It's not a crime to love Nas more than Jay.
Wow. Yo.
My favorite MC is Tupac.
I'm a little
And
Driz.
they'll all start barking on me. And if this
Episode
episode go any
33,
longer.
we taking it home. Shout out to Mace. Pulling up.
Hey, I appreciate
time
it. Today
around,
is my
beautiful
father's
always.
birthday. Today would have been my father's 65th
Shout out
birthday.
to OG
R.I.P.
Biff
Pop.
O'Malley.
It felt
That's what's
good
up.
doing something that I know he would have been proud of. So happy
That's a
birthday,
fact.
Timmy
We
Bowers.
happy to have him here, OG. Shout out to Sincere.
Rest in
Beats
peace.
made on deck. You hear that shit in the background sounding beautiful. Shout out to Jav, Hov's favorite fan. You know what I'm saying? I love him
Fuck
for
yourself, bro. Whole favorites fan.
it. I love him for
Only
it. That's my
nigga who talks on a podcast and forgets what he says that acts brand new when it's brought
I
up on
didn't
the
act brand
podcast.
new,
Get out of
brother.
here, son. Don't whole favorite. Like, what you mean whole favorite
I
fan?
can't love Hov and I can't love Nas.
Who said that?
I'm
Did I
asking.
say that?
I can't do that.
Did I say
All
that?
right, all right. We out of here, bro. We outta here.
Get him saying?
Take it.
Only nigga who said shit on the podcast and don't remember.